live screen. We are live. So I'm really bummed. So I upgraded my VR headset because I got a nice bonus from work, and I was like all excited. So I ordered the Cadillac of headsets, the Valve Index. I was so excited. I had it for 4 days, and I started to see little things in the lenses where like it's like the LED was turning red or green, and it was like, oh, and I looked it up. It's like, oh, it's the cable, the cable that comes out of the headset and then goes into the computer. There's a breakaway thing. So reseat all your connections. So I reseated that, and I reseated the breakaway one, which was very delicate. I undid it and put it back in, and everything was working fine. And then I went last night to go and stream and play some games, and it wouldn't light up. It just wouldn't light up. And then I went and I reseated the thing again, and it snapped. I was pissed, but I was less pissed and more just really, really upset. Like just kind of like because I was so excited for this thing.
Yeah.
So I called Steam support. Basically, this thing, like, it snapped off completely, like on this edge. It's supposed to be like these are the pins. Basically, it's snapped. It's like a mini display port, and it's not very easy to put the two things together. Like Veronica was watching. She's like, "You're being gentle," and I'm like, "It snapped." Like, freaking snap! Like, okay, so let me just say, like, this headset is not cheap. It's $1,000, okay, for the headset. I got it. I was like happy to finally. Like, I'm gonna. So I was so excited when I got it, and I did the whole stream when I was doing it. It was and the thing is amazing, but I'm so like just
Yeah.
let down because I was like, oh, I was there. So I'm waiting for Steam support to get back to me on this, and hopefully I'll get a replacement cable because like the controllers themselves, they're called knuckle controllers. So you like this is how you grab things, and you have your trigger here, you have your joystick, your other buttons here. But when you grab something, you just do this, and it actually shows you. And like in Half-Life Alyx, freaking insane, Kurt, by the way.
Yeah.
Once we all get I gotta have you try this thing. Like you grab it, you pick up a can. It's like you pick up the can, and then if you apply a little bit of pressure, it crushes the can. Like it's like whoa. So anyway,
Well, and that cable too, like you said, it's supposed to be like a breakaway cable, and I mean that makes sense. You've got a headset on, you could be
right.
walking around. You want a cable that's going to disconnect if you keep walking or something. You'd think they would make it to be built tough of
I
any of the parts of the thing.
I don't know, and it's fine that they have the breakaway because and this is came today. So this is what I have is I have hooks with basically um, spring-loaded wire, that would come out, and you can set them and they hang down, so that's going to go over to the center of the room where I actually play the VR, and then they're springs, so that they'll give and release, so that the cable is managed above the head, and then
Yeah.
I'll take that when I get the replacement cable. I'm going to duct tape the thing so it doesn't break away. And B, I'm going to basically attach it to the side of the computer on the back so that it just doesn't go anywhere, because that's the only thing that like got me. It was just like such an amazing piece of technology, and it just cable.
Yeah. That's disappointing. It seems like anything you buy nowadays, nothing's really built anymore to last.
Well, yeah, I mean, and you would expect them to, um, at that price point, like put a little bit more. I mean, everything else about it, like the headset itself, these headphones don't go on your ear at all. They basically sit right over, and they don't touch your ear. But the immersion with these things, like they're angled to go right down your ear. It's like nothing. Half-Life Alex booted up, and Katie doesn't even play Half-Life, and she was like, for me, so the same thing. She's like, I have chills, Dad. I'm like, yeah, me too. Like you just, whoa, and it just like, and you're in there, and you're just like, whoa, it's crazy.
Yeah, I guess I'm still I've always been a late adopter
Yeah.
of stuff. I didn't get a cell phone until whenever.
Oh, I would say right now, if you were like, oh, I'm interested in VR, I would say unless you're willing to make it a hobby, which means you have
Yeah,
to.
well, I mean, some things like VR and honestly, I don't know, 3D printing, they're still in the infant days, and
Right. it
if it's a hobby and you're really into it, but it's not mainstream by any
no, it's not,
stretch.
and you know, there are some developers that do some like awesome, like have made some really awesome games. Like there's a dungeon crawl one that I've been playing that's a lot of fun. You actually like go and you get different like items, like kind of like Diablo, but not really. Like you're in the dungeon and you're going through and there's traps and you see the traps. And you're trying to navigate the traps and you're doing it in VR. It's really cool because your character just builds, and if you die, you get sent out of the dungeon, and then it generates another dungeon for you based upon your level, and then you can multiplayer with it. So you can be a magic user with the book, and you can do the stuff, and you can fire the fireballs and stuff, and you know you can have the dagger, you can have the bow. It's really neat, but it's just like on the cusp of being like this is something somebody would really be into. You know, like it's some of it. Some of the stuff they make are just experiences. They're not an actual like game.
Yeah, someone when they ported Fallout 4, which
Right.
is probably one of my favorite games ever, onto VR, they said it was at the exact same time the single most awesome thing they'd ever played and the single most frustrating
Yes.
thing they'd ever played.
Yeah.
Like it was the coolness was outmatched only by the like the bullshit of like reload,
Right.
reload, 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 reload.
Yeah,
It's like,
and Bethesda, to be fair, Bethesda with that one, like they were better with what's it called with Skyrim, but they still didn't really like get it. And then that No Man's Sky game, which Veronica started playing, loves, and said Kurt would love this game, and I'm like, yes, he would, but it's a really cool game, and they made it so VR works. And now that I've played it in VR, like my headset broke, and I was like, "Oh, come play No Man's Sky with me regular." I'm like, I can't do that. Like, I've been there. I have been on this world where it's purple and there's glowing things going across the sweeping, and there's these things in the sky, and I can touch everything, and I could do it all. I'm like, I can't go back to looking at a screen with it. It would just. Plus, I don't know the controls. Everything for me is like reach over this arm, I do this, I look here, and now I'm like,
yeah, yeah.
I can't do it. It's a very very cool game. That Veronica was like, I think Kurt would really like this, but
Yeah, I looked at it. I think when it like first came out, everyone was raving, and
yep,
then they were upset about it. But then they finally fixed a bunch of stuff,
they
and
did.
everyone was
Yeah,
raving again.
yeah. It was when it first came out. They made a bunch of promises, and people were giving it negative review after negative review, and it was one of those things where the developer made good, and they brought all this extra stuff, and now it's like it's one of those games that you're like, okay, I have my main mission to go find this traveler or whatever, okay, but then you get this little side mission, and you're like, oh, that guy wants me to do that. All right, I'll go run that for him. Oh, but I want a little bit better ship. If I want that upgrade, I need to get some more money. Oh, this guy will get, and you just go down this rabbit hole, and then at the end of the night, you went, oh, I was supposed to do this, but it's like it's okay because you did all this other shit, and you can get back to that maybe tomorrow. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's very neat.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. And yeah, yeah, for everyone, I sent an email out. I basically I know people hadn't all sent in their updates, but I looked at the most recent one I get at, and a lot of people had like 15, 20 points unspent. So I thought, oh, let me just let them know. And maybe people hadn't thought like, oh, I probably don't have anything, not realizing you had a lot of stuff to spend. But yeah, we are only 1 point away from level, and I think some people want to wait for that time to kind of reassess where they're at. And so you've got all those points on hand. So when your max stat jumps from 6 to 7, you can just plot those 7 points down and like boom, be on top. That's gonna make my life more difficult, making stuff more challenging.
Yeah, it'll be a
So,
learning thing, right? You said none of your characters have got this far in the previous games you played, have you?
oh yeah, yeah, no, we only made it to. I think we just made level 3.
Three. You guys were on three.
Of course, I do baby you, whereas Eddie is more of a drill instructor. We had to we were walking down the road to get to this one town, and we just walked right past the town. So he's not gonna be like, well, guys, it looks like you passed the town. We're like, well, we're gonna keep walking, and then we get like to the next city down, and there's raiders and coyotes, and we're like, oh, we're dying. We're like, where is this place? We look at our map, and we're like 2 days off course, and this is post-apocalyptic wasteland, so we've got a little bit of rations with us. So now we don't have enough rations. We're having to like farm coyotes to make enough like coyote jerky to last us the trip back.
Oh,
It's like,
so Eddie is the Tomb of Horrors, where you're more of a
He
Beginner's
doesn't
module.
actively try to kill us.
Open world.
This is the bowling alley where you can't have the gutter bumpers.
Right.
It's like there's no gutter bumpers, dude. Like, oh, my ball went in the gutter. Well, you're dead then. Well, so they can just like heal me, right? No, you're dead. Like, and that did happen to a couple of us.
Yeah, I
It's an
was
open world
trying to
sandbox,
make
right?
yeah, I was trying to make like an open world sandbox thing where it's like I don't necessarily have like pockets where if they go they'll immediately die, but if things start to look dangerous, it's kind of like that's a sign that you might want to just take a care, like just be a little careful. That's all, just a little bit careful.
Yeah. He's not going to tell you, hey guys, I don't know if I advise that. He'll wait until we go that far, and then one person dies, and then we'll go, maybe we shouldn't do that, and then I'll go, yep.
You see a skull and crossbones over the opponent. Ooh, time to go.
Must be picking up.
Yeah,
And
his name
also
is
in
Red.
theory-
So yes, his name over his head is Red. That means run.
Yeah. And then I think everyone does experience different, and we've done it both ways in Palladium or Pathfinder too, where in some cases where someone does more, like they would get more experience, whereas in others, I don't know. I personally like to run it so everyone's just roughly on par, so you don't get too much disparity between you all. And then, as you said, I keep forgetting because there's only 3 experience points per level. Really, every XP is kind of a relatively big jump, so you kind of have to go through quite a bit. But then because they're so far apart, you forget about it. So now you guys are about to go on the heist, and I'm like, you guys haven't gotten XP since before the train ride to Breslau. So crap, I gotta throw some XP your way.
Yeah, we deserve experience for all those kids that have screwed us over so far.
Yeah. You should get a bonus point for each child you went to rescue who ended up trying to kill you or in some way. So to recap, and as per the whole story, you took the train to Breslau because to get the portal working, Merritt's going to repair the rest of it, but he needs this cesium-137 isotope, rare and very radioactive isotope, as the catalyst to get the portal open. The only ones known to have it is this old supervillain, the Iron Maiden, the Eisenmacht from way back in the 20s, and no one's heard from her in this castle. But everyone's content to just let sleeping dogs lie and not go near the creepy old place. Whereas you all kind of have no choice if you're going to save the doc. So you've been in Breslau, kind of checking out the museum, talking to the townspeople, talking to the police, and actually doing a scouting run of the whole castle to see where the kind of the sentries are and what's your kind of minimum amount of entry where you can kind of get in, get out, and get the least amount of fighting as possible. You've done the scouting run and determined that this one building, actually here on the screen, appears to be some sort of clock house. And the theory from the guy running the museum is he believes this is kind of like the master clock that all of the clockwork soldiers and sentries in the place operate off of, and that disrupting it or destroying it or doing something to it might disrupt their ability to fight you. So whatever ones you do run into along the way to find the cesium, which may be a bit of a run, it'll make your fighting along the way easier. So now we are in the actual heist proper, starting to head in. So previously you had finished your scouting run just around dusk on Saturday, July 14th, again 1934, in this alternate world. You'd all just checked in at the hospital. The Blitzman had some surgery to get the rest of the little shrapnel bits out from that lethal damage that he took. You all just get a checkup, top off your fluids, as it were, to make sure everyone's in good sporting condition for the heist at hand. You pretty much take all day Sunday to rest up, change your sleeping schedules. You'll need to go in for a nighttime infiltration, as well as checking out the plan, planning everything out, getting all your equipment set up. Yeah, and then Monday afternoon you'll be driven out to the site and actually go in as soon as it gets dark or whenever you've scouted out and you feel comfortable moving in. Maybe weather conditions may change. As far as go ahead.
Just to confirm, I'm back up to full now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So everyone, again, you should be level 11 experience points. If you wanted to put points into what you've got now, you can. Although once we start the session, you got to be frozen where you are.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're going to allow this. And hi, everyone. It's been a while. Sorry I've missed the last
Thank
couple.
God you're here. I missed you.
Welcome back!
I
Yay!
missed your game.
We missed bowling balls.
They're back. They're back.
I have to look up bowling balls and see when do they actually start making. But yeah.
Oh, true.
You can do camp balls.
But
right?
Kurt, do you think I could boon access into animation?
What's
It takes 8 hours to create like a
Yeah, so
permanent
I just
dude.
went over this with Kurt as well in regards. He knows animation well because Logic gives you access to animation. And next level, I'm actually going to be able to try to make a Clockwork Knight or a little Clockwork Bird, actually. But if you're going to start peeling pieces of yourself off and animating them, that's gross.
Yeah, I think I might just create like a duplicate of myself as like a little dummy sometimes, maybe for him to go in and take some hits or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, animation. I don't know. Animation's kind of a heavy one. It does take all that time to actually do it, but then like afterwards, you pretty much have like a permanent kind of companion. And it does. It is just creation, entropy, or logic, and I think they're specific to that. Is that's the only thing you could use to actually create something like that. They do have boon access as a feat, but the number of points it costs is the number of like the tier you want to do it at. So if you want to do animation at power level 6, it would be 6 feat points, which would just be brutal. And I mean, and because of that, I think that's why I'd have to say, I mean, you could do it, but you'd have to spend the points, which would kind of be a shit ton.
Okay, yeah.
I'm almost like, don't they have the companion feat as well?
Which is only 2, I think.
It's still just the one person. I mean, you could say it's a minion or something of yours.
Animation says it's supposed to be inanimate material components, so it's not like you could squeeze off.
Well, but it's whatever fits the story. Like if you're, lightning guy, you'd be creating he's like a walking lightning dude.
Yeah,
It has to be some flesh golem or something like that.
Yeah.
It's just more
save up for that.
I don't know. I'd say similar to Eddie's game. If you did like a companion to do one, that made him, made one of these flesh dudes. I mean, you could, they like in that case, it could be anything. They said it could be just like a hireling or something like that, but you could do it that way. But yeah, the actual animation feat probably not. That's something that actually Blue Suit has been working on because he has Logic and he's been wanting to add one. I was going to say, it's making like a little like a Clockwork companion. Essentially by the end of this mission, they'll kind of gotten an inspiration for how to make one and then make a new one for the level up.
I want to make him so like he's like a bird, but he transforms into like a clock or something. Some sort of like object that's like benign, so that he can like sneak in somewhere and then like transform back down.
Yeah.
So like that owl in Jason and the Argonaut.
Clash of the Titans. Yeah.
Oh, Clash of the Titans.
Yeah, it would be kind of like that, but I was thinking more of like a raven or something, or like a beetle or something. I don't know. We'll see.
Would
We'll
it use
what I come
that
up
crappy claymation too?
Well, I still have to, and the other thing is I still have to roll it. I could fail on the roll, and then, you get a pile of nothing.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You have to, and you do need like a full, 8 hours rest. It'd be like a weekend or something like that in game. You play it out that's the time it took to make the thing. So you're gathering up, you're getting all your gear ready to head out, and just to review on the equipment that everyone listed off, we had camouflage clothing, backpacks, rock climbing equipment, the melee weapons. So I had bolas, binoculars, cameras, and probably more for the scouting, but you could still have those. Explosives and detonators, which you do have, as well as a Geiger counter was the one I'd forgotten to add towards the end. For most of it, I mean, you can pretty much say, you can have whatever camouflage clothing, backpack, rock climbing equipment, everyone's pretty much going to have that. But for the rest of the items, I actually wanted to go to like who had it, or if you had one of them, who is carrying it. So I mean, just like explosives and detonators, you've got a fair amount. I don't know if we want to break it up between a couple people or have the one guy carrying them just in case he gets hit with a fireball and if or a lightning bolt and the stuff gets triggered.
I'll carry some of the dynamite detonators and fuses.
Okay, so this is volatile, the stuff that you're
Or-
carrying.
No, wait, it was Kurt. It was like the predecessor to plastique, right?
Yeah, I forget the name of it now. They're basically what the stuff they used in World War II. So it's not really unstable. I mean, really, even dynamite is relatively stable. It's only when dynamite gets old and some of the glycerin starts weeping out of it that it can get
Right.
shock can set it off. This stuff isn't quite as safe as C4, but you can kind of punch it with a hammer, almost light it on fire. You actually need a detonator is actually just a tiny explosive. It is so many feet per second, and it's enough to set the stuff off. So it's not really like if you got hit by a lightning bolt that the stuff would go off, but it more just to keep track of it. You always have those key items, and if the one guy is the one guy stuck behind the door, maybe that might be an issue. So I just wanted to put names next to the main items. So explosive and detonators, I've got the Blitzman has some of it.
Composition C.
Yeah, that's it. Comp C.
C4.
I don't know if the C is the
I think.
same C, whatever the meaning is. I should ask my brother.
It's the Holy See.
Well, anyone else who's going to have the rest of it?
I'll carry it. I think that I'm a good. Joe Boo will keep me safe.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Mike and I were just talking about presence. That one stat is, it's kind of like a little bit of luck also performing for people and whatnot, but that one figures into your resolve, but also into your hit points. So Alma Dieter has a 6 presence, so she actually has more hit points than anyone else. She's almost the tank in a way, if not in defenses, if at least in the hit points side.
You have presence and prescience, right, Mike?
Yeah, I am a double threat.
Yeah, I used to do the or no, maybe it's the learning he has the attribute substitution on, but yeah, presence.
Yeah, exactly. So prescience, so I can see things, and then presence, I can then affect my will on reality as it seems.
Yeah, give a speech, sing a song, inspire an army, exert your will, force personality, have luck smile upon you. You can also use it towards healing. So healing doesn't have to be like literally fixing someone.
It's like you're inspiring people.
Inspiring them. Blue Suit's been taking that inspiring champion, which is doing some of that kind of stuff.
And I think that the way that mine works would be more like a prayer to the Macumba people, and light seems to seep out around me and then just kind of envelops the
yeah. I mean, it definitely has a mystical element as far as the style of character, but you can do it the other way.
If you haven't looked at it yet, Mike, look at Inspiring Champion. I'm actually I think I'm gonna go to level 2 on that one.
Cool.
All right, so on that, and then the Geiger counter, you've only got the one. Who's going to be carrying that?
I can carry it.
Okay. I guess like a Blue Suit does have the utility belt that can hold these items.
Absorb object, yep.
Well, or I guess Taylor too.
Yeah.
Metamorph
Put that in Taylor.
As far as cameras, binoculars, or any optics, is anyone carrying them on this leg of the mission?
I already have mine, so I'm good.
Yeah, I'll definitely
I'm
have
gonna carry a
binoculars.
camera, but I'm leaving the. I'm carrying the camera, but I'm leaving the big heavy lens behind,
Okay.
and I'm also carrying binoculars.
Yeah, I've got binoculars as well. That's just part of my normal kit.
Okay. Shooting star. And then someone had bolas on the list. Is anyone going to carry those?
Oh yeah, those are mine.
Okay. No more. And then as far as the melee weapons, like from the museum, I know Shooting Stars got Lucerne hammer, kind of the one with the sharp pokey bit on it. With the other ones, the bec de Coban, the crow's beak.
I have one of those. I have one of those Lucerne hammers also, but and it's got a metal handle.
Oh, right. Yeah, so you can conduct electricity down it. And anyone else on the old school melee weapons?
I think I had like a halberd or a smaller halberd. Do you remember any? Did I have like a?
I think you'd wanted to do a halberd, but I was thinking it'd be too long to kind of keep inside your body. So if it was anything like that, it would be like kind of one of those short spears. It's maybe like almost like the length of like a long sword, except held spear. It's like that you could probably fit like lengthwise in your body.
Okay, yeah, something like that.
The other thing I came across by accident, so I thought I'd mention. I think Almadita, you have a sawed-off shotgun. But for anyone that does that, you can do a cone pattern attack. So when we do a multi-target attack.
Yep. Yeah. Cool. That makes sense.
Yeah, like this. So it's whatever the disadvantage is. But if you have a gun that does it, you don't have to roll the disadvantage. So if you're using your sawed-off shotgun, you can do a 10-foot cone, essentially, which is this pattern to hit the number of people, and you don't have to roll disadvantage for it. You can just do that type of attack. When we get back to Berlin and level up, we're also going to be opening up more interesting weapons. So like automatic weapons, and some of those you can do a 10-foot cube. Same thing. You can shoot any number of targets in that, 4 targets in that 10-foot cube space, and you don't have to roll disadvantage 2 to hit all of them. It's just a straight as part of the weapon. So that's something you can look into, different types of weapons you might expand up to.
Totally.
Let's see. Marching order. I'll show them templates for here.
Kurt, just as a quick aside, it looks like the explosive would be the Nobel 808, often just called explosive 808 in the British Armed Forces during the Second World War. It actually was developed before the Second World War, and it has a green plasticine appearance with the distinctive smell of almonds.
I think God, doesn't cyanide. There's some poison that smells like almonds.
Cyanide.
I believe you are correct.
Yeah, so almonds is like kind of a double threat. You smell almonds, it better be an almond, and if it's not,
Yeah.
you're either gonna blow up or you're gonna keel over dead. Okay, so we got all of the equipment counted for. Is there anything else before we begin? Yeah.
I also have almonds.
Oh, your almonds covered M&Ms.
Yes.
Before you start, any other questions, things you want to bring up, or items you want to bring, or things like that?
Actually, I would like to bring some sort of like awl, like a very sharp, pointy thing that might be the size of as long as maybe a Bowie knife. I just have a feeling those input ports might be what's it called? Exploitable when getting into close combat with them. So if I could bring something of that nature.
Sure, I would say you could have as a melee weapon. That would be also like a Lucerne hammer. I mean, they have them of different lengths. Some of them are, the length of a full-size sword. Some are like a small hatchet. It's basically just a hammer with like a hammer on one side and like a sharp point. You almost imagine like a carpenter's hammer, like a claw hammer, except it's only got one point instead of 2 nail pullers.
Yeah, but I'm thinking just like a pointy stick, just a small pointy, like length of a Bowie knife maybe, but just really thin like an ice pick.
Yeah, so as far as the medieval weapons you had at the museum, they would have like daggers and dirks among them, and
Yeah, dirk.
dagger is really meant to be more of a stabbing implement, and they do have ones with like more rounded points, something like an ice pick, rather than like a thin blade.
Sounds good. I'll
Or
take one of
maybe
those.
those weapons that Electra uses. I don't remember what those are called.
Sai, yeah, that would be Japanese.
Long, straight point. It's like he was talking about.
Yeah. It's more of a piercing. It's usually not bladed weapon.
Kurt, did you mention we've got climbing gear still?
Yes, still have the
Okay.
climbing gear. So, among your get up, you pretty much have your harnesses on. Then you've got between you packs of rope.
Yep.
Pitons, hammers, whatever you might need to do something. You need to set up.
And then, as my usual, I still have the magnifying glass, lockpicking kit, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, you still have your standard set of equipment.
Thanks.
Let's see. All right. This will wait for others. All right. Well, I'll just do this intro. I don't know. One of the things I missed not playing in person is not being able to do the music cues as easily, and I can't play them. They don't transmit, so I'll basically put it in the chat if you want to throw it on in the background just for the. Yeah, I can put it on quiet or background. It'll just be some music for the background for the beginning of the mission. There you go.
Is it the Monty Python one?
Not that one in this case. Okay. All right, so it is the following Monday, the 16th. In the late afternoon, you pack all your gear into the van and you're dropped off on the side of the road in pretty much the same spot you were on your initial scouting run, since you know that terrain the best. You pretty much follow your steps in the train you had scouted out, making it down to the valley, avoiding the river trap, which doesn't appear to be reset. It's still in a pile of wreckage where you left it. You made it across and hiked back up the hill and up to the original advantage point you were viewing everything from, where we'll review the scene. And then the plan is from there, as soon as it's after dark and we actually start the infiltration, we'll be heading down the hill into the valley, across the footbridge, and then up to the base of the castle where you're going to infiltrate into. Scouting out from that position, it's pretty much looking like this, although probably a little bit darker as it's getting towards the end of the day. Again, to review for everyone, I mean, here's the north, off to the right of the long bridge, the main gate. All of the yellow S's are sentries, so some sort of one of these clockwork knights that you've seen before, similar to this guy's chap here. As I said, the armor is similar in style, although a darker color, sort of like a dark blue, gunmetal gray mixture. And it's not quite tarnished, but somewhat patinaed, so it pretty much blends in with kind of the old rock. They're not too terrible not too terribly easy to see. But you do make them out. They're especially also harder to see as they do not move at all. Red letters are indicating something of note. So, here we did have some smoke rising from this one building. This is where one of the trebuchets, rotating platform, is set up. When they were up scouting the hills, there were a couple cases where some of these Iron Knights were actually fired up into the hills, and a battle ensued from there. When checking this out and looking at the scene, as I'd said too, there's this sort of screen or curtain among the side walls of the main structure with this sort of repulsor field that the museum curator had said that the Iron Maiden had used in other assaults. So where they're going in and taking the building, the sort of way to lock off the windows so no one can escape or they can get whatever they need. Basically indicating that just scaling the wall and trying to get into one of these windows probably wouldn't work. You probably need to get into an actual doorway at the base level. When looking at all this, too, Alma-Dieter had used her true sight, initially trying to find some hidden passageways or secret entrances. Did not find any around the castle, but did notice the certain sentries looked a little bit differently. So the ones indicated in green here, they are still sentries. They are still standing in place, but they do not seem to be powered up. They're either dead or turned off, or maybe in some kind of low power mode where there's just no internal mechanisms firing. Maybe they'll wake up, or maybe they need a charge to get them going, but there is a bit of a difference. So, the one in front of the guardhouse too, the one in the main area, and this is where you'll be doing your infiltration from this patch of green here, as well as
You'll have to charge them up.
Yeah. You'll need to charge them up, and then you need some more experience. There's not enough guys to kill, so you'll fill them all up, and then as soon as they're active, take them right down. From a head-on view, again, you can still see the two there by the gate, the one by the gatehouse. Here you can see this area you'll be infiltrating initially to get into this clock house from a different angle. You can see how it's a little bit sloped here. You've got some stairs up to a higher platform going around the back, and then some stairs up to a door heading out into this open walkway. You can also see the steps leading up to the guardhouses and the main structure. And then over here, we can see on the back end, there's that passage. Here's that guard little terrace leading up to, and this is the door you're looking to use to get into the place. Around the back, we can see a little back entrance in the wall. There's another trebuchet there, and a little platform with the two soldiers on it. From the photographs, it appears that this is some sort of like master bedroom or main chamber of the Iron Maiden, and then this appears to be some sort of elevator going down into a sub basement. So you'll probably have to enter here, eventually make it up to this room, and then take the elevator down to get the cesium. Again, front angle looks like we're all clear there. Yeah, again, too, you can see. So after we take out the clock house, which is kind of going to be phase one, you got to head up these stairs onto this platform and then try to head in through this door here. Around the back, you have it slopes down to a gate, and then that main road wraps around to the back where there's the stables and some other guys back there. High back end. Again, you guys are going to be coming up this hill, trying to make it onto this terrace or into some way into this building. On this side, besides the smoke, we'd also seen a large clock face, and that was one of the clues that the museum curator said he believes this is the master clock is in this structure. You can also see that the guard terrace. So you'll be coming out either say out of this door, out of one of the doors on the other side, or out of a door out of this onto this main road, up the stairs onto this guard terrace, and then into that entrance. Just skipping this back entrance entirely. This being several tiers. So there's some stairs up to a little bottom terrace, a door into a medium up to a medium level, around this wall up to a higher level where the trebuchet is, and there is another door entrance here in case you had to figure something else out at the last minute. And this we're not going to be approaching this angle, but this is another photograph showing the rest of the placement of the sentries around the south side. And then this the west tower was under construction at some point, or reconstruction, I should say, but has been since abandoned. So as I said, they drop you off, you make your way up to that vantage point, and then once we hit dark, we'll be heading down the hill and across the footbridge. But it's up to you to judge as far as the time you want to go down, and either if you want to do a fast approach or stealth approach, making your way out there before you get up and actually start scaling the walls. So we'll say it's pretty much dusk. The sun's going down, but you do still have like a little bit of light, and we can wait until whatever you think could be the ideal time to go. If it's so sort of as soon as it's dark, or wait further on, wait until 9 or even later if you want to go in. But at least you have eyes on scene.
Well, I think the thought process was to obviously there's the mechanical guards, but there is the possibility there could be regular human people here too. I mean, there could be servants of some kind that are not. We don't know 100%. So I think it was just erring on the side of caution. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and
Does anyone else?
from your observations, you hadn't noticed anyone else moving, but that's also a possibility, or maybe inside of the buildings. And then also with the sentries, they seem to be all stationary.
Right.
There's no roving patrols, and I mean you can't see everything in the valley with all the vegetation, but you can see a good portion of it. It is pretty open, and similarly, you don't see a lot of any movement or soldiers stationed down there.
Mike Scott, I was just looking at his camera and I just saw a cattail go by.
It's gonna go back and forth a few times, I'm sure. She's definitely taken interest in my dice.
Wiping the dust off of the camera lens. Okay, so first time when it's completely dark, or wait for later.
Should we
I'm
try
fine.
to get to the base before it's dark? Like, the bottom of the valley?
That's also up to you too. So I mean, here you are. You've got a little bit of scrambling down the hill, and then there's the footbridge or just the river itself, and then coming up. I mean, this is pretty much flat, and then you kind of come up the slope, and it levels off to the point just below that terrace.
To be honest, I'm a little leery of going in at night because then I need a flashlight to be able to see a darn thing. And I don't know that they do.
I don't.
Oh, Rich too.
Doesn't help.
How bright is it? How bright is it? Is there like a full moon or partial cloud cover?
I would say there's it's not a full moon, but there is enough moonlight that you're not stumbling around hitting your heads on tree branches if you're acclimatizing your eyes to the background.
Okay.
I mean, at this point, we would have been in the woods for a while, so that would, takes about 20 minutes to get your eyes acclimated. So we should be able to see it well enough.
Yeah, the plan was to at least get on station where you could get a view of the place and watch it, make sure nothing has changed, and then let the light go, and then decide the point you wanted to move in to give you that flexibility. And then also, so you're not in a car with lights on coming right out here. You're getting used to the area.
I'm good with that. We do have wolves in the area if we have to wait long enough that we need to start making wolf jerky. So
Yes. Yeah. You do have enough rations. I don't know if you packed sandwiches as the one, or maybe this is not what she was talking about. In the
finger sandwiches.
Yeah.
I think we should get fairly close and then just kind of watch it for about an hour. See what's going on, see if anything moves, that kind of thing. Sorry, Mike, you were going to say?
Well, I was saying, I mean, obviously we don't want to split up the party, so to speak. When you guys are doing the whole Taylor turns of people into deer thing, I mean, there's that thought process again. I mean, there's a whole slew of different ways. I know I can be stealthy, but that's me. I can't help anyone else be stealthy, so I don't know kind of how you guys wanted to handle it. I was always just going to be able to put my kind of shimmer cloak on and just be sneaky getting up there. But I just didn't know how you guys wanted to handle the actual approach. If you wanted to just be in your gear and camouflage, or if you wanted to metamorph into something weird, like deer or something.
I could take 10, and as long as everyone stayed near me, I could make everyone invisible. I would say turning into deer might be bad because we have an ancient supernatural hunter who makes no sounds and is untraceable that walks around these woods now. And we may or may not get shot by said hunter.
If you're gonna make me a deer, make me one with really small antlers, so I'm the least best target.
Yeah, you did run into the old German hunter and his German wire-haired pointer.
Yeah, and we turned around and then he disappeared.
Yeah, he
Gone.
did seem to be. He was a little. I picked him sort of the feel you got from the way he talked and the way he looked, but he was dressed a little shabbily, but worn clothes. He did.
Also, we're not even sure if he speaks English.
Yeah, I'm actually not sure how when Almadita used tongues, I'm not sure if that just allows you to understand them. I don't know if it actually tells you what, do you turn it on and you're like, the language you're hearing is Spanish, like, or do you
It's
just
like
like, oh, I understand them. What language is it? I don't know.
before you speak, say, "Hey Siri."
Yeah.
Hey Siri, translate this.
Yeah, what language am I speaking?
So the only
Okay.
the advantage to turning into deer, however, is that I can then turn on my telepathy, so that if we do split up a little bit, at the very least we can still speak to one another. So
Can we go invisible up to the wall and then turn that off, turn telepathy on?
sure.
I think that would be probably my vote.
Okay. All right.
Then
So yeah.
you think it would be good if I do like a weird like Overwatch thing where I turn to an L and I just kind of land on top of the tower, the clock building we're going to right now, and then if like a sentry is about to walk around the corner or something, I could just do like a caw maybe, and you guys would know maybe. Would that be helpful?
Well,
Or
yeah,
maybe just
when we get there,
Look up
yeah,
here! Look up here!
yeah, when we get there, that's fine. Yeah, that's great, actually.
Okay, so we're gonna do you essentially take 10, do group invisibility. So everyone's gonna be invisible, moving down from their station here.
Does that
I guess
cause us to feel any sort of like weird way, like when he teleports, or is it just like, no? I'm serious. Is it like
There is a
because of
constant whisper of Latin-esque words that kind of hum in the background, but besides that, no.
okay?
it's probably like Latin chanting of invisible, invisible.
Yeah,
you
pretty
are
much.
The Gregorian chanters. I remember when they had the tapes of the Gregorian chanters. That was big in the '90s.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll say so you'll all be invisible, or you can use your shimmer code outside of that. So for making way down the hill, just everyone give me an agility check and a perception check.
And guys, should I go owl now and just go above you guys, or should we approach together? So I'm thinking I should be like owl right now.
I think we might be fine, but it wouldn't be a bad thing to have something above us to watch things. So I would say do the owl.
Eyes
Yeah.
upstairs definitely helps.
Yeah.
I rolled an
In
11.
the cover of the woods, and I mean, owls are particularly quiet. I think your only concern previously was the idea of turning into a bird and flying like literally over around the castle. That there might be, some sort of defenses there that would target something, whether drone or actual animal flying too close.
My agility was a 16, and my perception actually rolled really well. Perception's
I
20,
rolled a 10 for agility and 7 for perception.
21 on the perception for me.
Sorry, Almadita, what were the two numbers again?
10 for agility
Yep.
and 7 for perception.
Okay.
So average.
Very, very average.
And Blue said I got 16 agility, and what was perception?
21.
Okay.
Eddie and I put ours in chat.
Me too.
It's more fun when we talk over each other.
So there was two numbers, and everyone's gonna shout two numbers, and it was just gonna go crazy.
Yeah. Lars, I didn't know if you
Lars,
said
I don't see yours.
bigger you are.
You got zeros on both? What?
Losing Lars.
Sorry, I didn't have it on everyone.
That's a 16 agility for me.
Taylor, is T-Swizz your rapper name?
Oh, 100%. In perception is 17.
17, okay. So far as agility, everyone did pretty well. 22, 21, 20, a couple 16s. All indeed around the 10. It's still you're not the most maybe graceful. You're invisible, but you're not inaudible. So there's a couple of twig snaps that people would look over to, but still nothing that's going to be to anyone that's not trained to listen for such things. You do manage to make it down the hill without any trouble or falls. And on perception, some low ones, 7, 8, but still some highs, 24 and 21. You are keeping an eye on. You don't want to be heading down the castle and not notice as the trebuchet slowly turns in your direction. So you're watching it through the trees as best you can, and especially with the metamorph checking from his somewhat elevated position up in the trees is able to see pretty well down there as well. And you are able to get a little bit closer to the valley floor, so you're kind of able to make out more what's going on and around the footbridge, and it seems to be clear. You've got enough light. I mean, if someone's dressed in camo or something hiding in a bush, you're not going to see them. But as far as sentries, normal positions, you don't notice anything, and you also don't see any change from the ramparts or walkways of the castle itself. So you do make it down to the base of the castle by the footbridge. Give you an idea what you're seeing here. It looks like this. Not quite as bright. So, I mean, if you imagine if this is the pathway leading up to the castle, this is like a little walkway at the bottom. You guys are ways behind that, still behind the tree line. It is now completely dark, so let's say it's the summer. I guess we're looking at more like 8 o'clock, so like 8 p.m. On the mission clock, and here's where you're standing out, and then what you're seeing. The river's not terribly wide. I mean, roughly kind of see here and at 2D2. I mean, at the most, maybe it'd come up to your, halfway up above your knee or so.
But it's within the 10-foot radius of Eddie. Like, if someone were to, like, I don't know, use their little, their little pneumatic boots to jump across and not get wet, or.
Well, I was going to say check for booby traps.
I mean, you could either the water's edge, or the walkway. And as far as like Eddie's invisibility, I mean, it does have a pretty tight radius. So if you all move together pretty closely, you're probably going to keep it. But if you're individually kind of jumping, you might have a division there.
I can invoke my cloak. I don't want. This just looks way too convenient. I'd rather just jump over.
Yeah, the last time we got near water, we had to fight some tentacles, so it might not be safe.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's the catch. So you don't want to go near the water, but then you also might not want to take the convenient footbridge.
We can throw a rock over there or something.
I have no problem invoking my trench coat and doing a quick hop over with my my jump boots.
Wouldn't that make sound?
It's like a.
Is that loud?
It's not like a rocket. It's like a pneumatic,
like compressed air jet.
Like you hear like the air, like really like pressurized air go. It's not like it's. Is it a little unnatural? Yes, but it's not like boom. It's like like a vacuum without the motor.
And as I mentioned on the last one, I'm kind of going by video game rules as far as how far noise carries. So, I mean, honestly, the second one of you fires your powers, it's like everyone in the whole castle is going to hear you, but that'd be untenable, isn't it? Again, when you're watching movies and playing video games, you want to deal with that.
Think of canned air, Lars. It's like the sound of canned air, right? That's I mean, maybe a little bit louder, but it's the sound of like canned air.
Well, that's the same thing I just said about like when Blitzman shoots his lightning. It's not like a crack of a thunderbolt every time. Sometimes it's just like that electric zap or charge sound. No, but I just wanted to throw it out there. So yeah, if you want to inspect things or people want to use abilities to move across in different ways, if they're going to temporarily move out of the invisibility, you can just describe how you want to ford the river here.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna boost over. I'm gonna invoke my trench coat, and I'm not gonna really get as close to the edge. I'm gonna enough that it's like, because I can boost for 30. I can do 60-foot jump if I want to do a double move, but like 30-foot jump if that'll make it, and just basically like just jump over it, turn around, and then take a look at it. I guess with my detection.
Yeah, so essentially jump across to another patch of ground, not too close to the water, but not like you're landing on the bridge or the other side of the bridge itself.
Yeah. Actually, I guess I should invoke my detection first to try that out before I go jumping anywhere. Because if there are tentacles.
Yeah. Okay.
So let me roll that.
So if you want to engage your detection, and as well as the Alder Adler Brilla, the eagle glasses.
Yeah, well, I always pretty much have them on when I'm there. It's just whether or not I activate the detection.
Yeah, and then for anyone else, if you want to check anything in particular or use a particular power, or otherwise, if you just want to do a perception check for the bridge and the water.
This is going to be looking at the bridge section and the water under the bridge type of like. It's going to be one of those things where I dial it in. Where is it?
So are we right next to the bridge?
Yeah, you're right here. This is what you're seeing.
I have a true sight.
Yeah.
I would like to use true sight to take a look at the bridge.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and do a prescience check. I gotta double check what that is.
It pierces things like.
Yeah, you see the presence of extraordinary effects such as magic, cloaking technology, other effects that can be seen through extra visual perception and vision.
15 on the detection.
Okay.
I'm just gonna use perception to look at the side of the bridge. I was thinking of just using climb and just going hand over hand along the stonework of the bridge on the side as everybody went across.
Okay.
If we
rolled a 32 for my prescience check.
Okay.
Kurt, how far across is it? Is it less than 30 feet?
Yeah, it looks like it's about 10 feet.
Well, it's a little.
Maybe 15.
This is the further. This thing right here is kind of like a halfway point. So you've got like water, some land, and then some more water, and then the opposite side. So.
Oh, I thought this was just the one underneath the one. Okay. So I got a 24 on my perception.
Okay, 24.
And as I say, I'm just focusing on the stonework along the side, not the rails or anything else, just the stonework.
Yeah, so it's like 60 foot.
All right, Kurt, I'm just gonna do a perception right around us, like near the edge of the water, on our side.
Okay.
Oh, from that angle, it didn't look like 60 feet.
Yeah, it is deceptive because this bit right here. I mean, the river essentially divides.
It doesn't
around
end there. It continues on. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So I mean, in theory, 60 feet, so like a double move, you could get across.
Right.
Depending on the method that you're using.
30
and yeah, just say if you're doing it like across the bridge proper or along the river side. So I got a blue suit's detection. I got all the Dieter's true sight, super high true sight roll, and then for the rest of you, you're just doing and I got the shooting stars perception. If the rest of you want to do a perception check, although there's a pretty
Kurt, can I turn invisible? I need to roll. I don't get it for free.
Let's see.
Aren't we currently invisible?
I'm flying in the air, so I'm not.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, well, yeah, and even the second you left, it would go. Yeah, that's right. Because you do your not polymorph. Shape change. You do your shape change as a minor action, so you can do invisible and be shape shaped. Shape shaped in something. Changing shape chafes.
Oh,
Okay, I got.
that's 23, and it's power level 5, so I think I got it.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So as you're examining the bridge and everything on the water side, the banks of the river look fine. I mean, they're solid enough. You don't see any traps in that area. There's nothing in the water. It's not all that deep, and while it's not crystal clear, you can pretty much see the bottom of it. It's swiftly moving enough and not more rocky than muddy. I mean, this is kind of the water here you're looking at. And there doesn't seem to be any traps or things on the railings or the steps themselves, at least not on this side. But between you do notice a couple of things between the detection, just the high perception rolls, and then definitely Almadita's true sight. You do seem to they almost look like supports or just bolts that it attached wherever the top slab is to the base. But looking at them more closely, they actually look like compression plates of some kind. Like there's some kind of material in there that's meant to give. And I don't know if this was nowadays, you think like, oh, it must be some kind of shock absorbing thing, so there's not too much bouncing. But looking at it, you think it must be a sensor of some kind. If there's any pressure on the top surface of the bridge itself, that it'll set off and trip this sensor. You don't see anything around that it might trigger, though. So maybe it's a remote sensor, or maybe there's things further away that you haven't noticed that would come into play.
I vote we go through the water.
I'm gonna fly over the water or do a jump.
So Kurt, there's like a little island halfway across, right?
Yes, yeah. So if you needed to like literally jump or do a running jump or something like that, you could probably avoid getting wet. Might make a little bit more noise, but not,
Okay. So I can teleport us halfway across, then go over, and then teleport us the rest of the way across.
What do you mean us?
Us, as in the rest of the party, I can teleport them over time. I can teleport them one jump or 30 feet.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. You're saying like one at a time, doing one.
Yeah,
yeah. I thought you were saying a multi-target. Like, were you trying to teleport the entire party?
One at a time. Just teleport us one at a time across to the little island piece in the middle, and then the rest of the way across. I don't have any crazy voices going on in my teleport.
No, but I still
Sounds
don't
good.
like being teleported, so I will fly myself.
But there is a bright flash of lightning and a big boom every time someone teleports. So it's just like, okay, everyone, Eddie, boom. I'm like, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I'll be teleported. I vote for me to be teleported with Lars.
Okay, so I mean, Blue Suit already jumped across. Eddie is capable of teleporting himself.
I was gonna say it's only 30 feet to the little island in the middle.
Yeah. So really, you could do a double teleport just mid-air, but if you want to stop on the island to gain your footage and stuff.
I'm assuming the range on my invisibility is 50, because that would be the default. That would be what it would be if I was trying to invoke it onto someone. Anyway, so the range would be 50, I'm assuming. I just want to make sure that no one like just pops out.
When you're doing it on someone else.
I
guess you would be. Were you invoking it as just like a ranged multi-target? So you're just individually selecting each target?
No, I guess I would have done like a multi-target.
You could do it like an area like that, but they'd have to be within each other, or even a multi-target. They'd have to be within 25 feet of each other. It would be a 50-foot range from you to the furthest person, but they also have to be within a 25-foot square.
But would that just be for the invoking of it, or would that be for just how it works? I guess is like, should I have done an aura instead if I wanted for everyone around me to be invisible or something? Like I know it's possible. I'm just
That's a
trying to.
good question. Let's just for now, let's just say, the 25 foot would be just to invoke it, and then any one person would have to stay within 50 feet of you.
Okay, so everyone can jump and not.
So yeah, I mean 60
Just-
foot roughly, everyone can roughly make it across. And you're
All right.
even when you come uninvisible, it is still nighttime, and you're all still wearing camouflage. So it's probably not too much of a difference in.
I would have to take 10 again though, just to get everyone back in. That's why.
Okay.
It'll just take more time.
All right, so Blue Suit does his own rocket jump across. Eddie can make his own way across, and Lars can then will teleport. I mean, Shooting Star can even try with your own rolls if you want to, but Shooting Star himself and Almadieter to the other side, and the Metamorph is just going to fly because he's invisible.
Yeah, I'll get us all to the center first, and then go.
Okay. Again, everyone, just give me an agility check. This is just your, walking through the woods, stepping on twigs, not walking into branches, not falling into the
11.
water and splashing, and everyone finding out at that moment you never learned how to swim. I always thought that would be a good flaw for open legend. Unable to swim, it's just. It normally doesn't come up, but also you all jump in the water and it's like, oh crap, Timmy can't swim.
7 is an awesome roll.
11.
13.
You want one for me?
Yes. So your DC is probably going to be lower, but yeah, go ahead. If you leap off a branch and trip and lose your wings.
So
Did Shooting Star, Lightning Man, Metamorph, or putting them
I
in
said
chat?
21.
Okay.
I put it in chat. 23.
Yeah. The chat window shows up for about a half a second and then vanishes. So unless everyone's doing it, it doesn't result.
21.
Okay, so still pretty solid there. 11 and 13 still make it. You're not the quietest or the daintiest again. I think Almadieter commands a powerful social presence, but sneaking through the woods is maybe not as much her forte. Or maybe it's the non-Brazilian foliage you're not used to, the crunchy ground, or you don't have all those lush vegetation. The Blue Suit was the first one to jump across, and he's sort of almost impatiently waiting for everyone else to come over and maybe tapping on something. Leans back to lean on a tree. He actually only leaned on a dead tree. He has a little bit of a crack and he almost falls over, but catches himself, looks around. Everything still seems to be pretty quiet. Nothing else seems to be moving as you can proceed on. So now you are on the other side of the bridge here, looking up onto the area you're going to be infiltrating. So, you guys are kind of like down a little bit lower than down here, looking up at this spot, and you can time it as well as you want. If you are going to go for a faster charge or a slow crawl up through, if you want to, I don't know, maybe wait for that one cloud to pass in front of the moon for ultimate darkness while you scramble up the hill. You do have a fair amount of vegetation here, some trees and bushes, so you're not in a wide open field for the approach. But again, you can signal how you want to make that transition.
Kurt, are the sentries up against the building or up near the edge of the
Yeah,
wall?
from before, they're all up against the building.
That's what I thought. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, they're not like over the ledge, like looking down. They're actually, it's almost like, I mean, they are literally in every case standing right next to a door, almost like they're the Queen's Guard on station next to the door, ready to like pull the handle and open it up for someone or something like that. I mean, maybe like these two guys down at the guard tower, they're like literally peering over the edge, but everyone else pretty much seems to be stationed by some door. So anything?
As we get to the base of the wall, I would like to invoke my resist and haste.
Okay. Yeah, as far as going like on an actual grid, we'll start that with when you're actually at this platform here, right below the base of the wall, or just say anything describing how you want to make your approach. If you want to wait for dark or go
very slowly.
This will be more of the creeping up the side.
Yeah, I'm going to be right next to Eddie saying, keep me invisible, and trying to be quiet, which I seem to have a really hard time accomplishing.
I'm going to split off from them by like, I don't know, 10 feet, so that I guess we're not all in this, like, we've got Taylor up top. I'll split off a little bit too, so it's like if one of us like sneezes, it doesn't screw all of us type of thing. Like I know if we're out, like, but at least it would be like they would see a group and not the other group, I guess, so to speak.
Yeah, once you're up onto this platform here, it's just kind of open grass. But on the slope, if you were to like slip or make a noise or something, there is a bush you could roll under. So if someone did like walk over to the wall and look, that you would be disguised under that bush. It's not all wide open.
I know. I'm just gonna separate myself by 10 feet, just in case, like, if one of us trips and falls, we don't want to reach out and take the other people with us. Just any number of things that it doesn't, because I can be somewhat invisible. I figure it'll just be easier.
Okay. All right. And I guess I'll just put the chat up to begin with. Everyone, just do a last agility check for your last approach up to the wall. And make it a good one.
25.
Or don't. Or if you want a legend point, you could invoke one of your flaws.
39.
Well, you did it. You made up for the other time. You're
right.
So placement of your feet.
23.
13.
I think at that point I tiptoed up the wall into the door without being seen.
Alma Dieter is trying not to be seen.
Let's see. I got Shooting Star, Blue Suit, Metamorph, Alma Dieter, Lightning Man, and Oliver Ramos.
6.
Oh, yours. Okay, I thought I heard it 6.
Guys, you need to try Saratoga peanut butter.
60.
Oh, it's so good. Oh my god!
Way to overperform there. 13 for me.
Lars, you found a secret passage right to the place, and you see this box and it says cesium on it. You grab it, you walk out. You're all done.
Can he do so good that he like negates how bad I did?
Yeah. That's a good story. So
yes,
Oliver, you all did like stellar. Like you are ninjas moving through the night. Blue Suit is still not bad with his personal invisibility. It helps a little bit. Oliver Ramos like steps on a rock. It all crumbles, and he's just going like face down. Blitzman is so fast. He sees him going on just like horse collars and just grabs him like right by the back of the collar and just pulls him up as he heads up the hill, charges up the hill. Somehow, like how you have to move at half speed when you're going at stealth. Somehow, Blitzman was able to move at full speed and still maintain that level of silence.
And he knew it was happening, even though everyone was invisible too. It's like, whoa.
Good luck on your combat rolls, Lars. Now you're screwed.
I think you would be able to see each other. There would be like the good guy outline or something like that. Where we'd at least be, we wouldn't be invisible to each other. So yes, Blitzman's excellent roll pulled Oliver Ramos's out of the fire, almost literally. All right, so you do make it up, and you are now at the base. And again, it is quiet, and there doesn't appear to be any change. It's almost eerily quiet. I mean, you do logically, rationally, you understand these are clockwork soldiers. They're going to just stay on station like sentries. But it's just creepy. I mean, this is this is a building. It's a house. There's windows. There should be people smiling and waving, and it is just creepily silent. I mean, you hear the wind in the trees, and that is it. And there's just no movement from these things, not even a creak, and it's unsettling how quiet it is.
Kurt,
From where we are now, do we hear the clock itself?
I would say like yeah, faintly. This is one of those old school clocks with like the, we hear the kaboom, kaboom, when the timing plates actually rising and dropping on the different gear keys.
Kurt, do we notice anytime you're in the woods, you notice there's animal noises around you, even at night to some extent. Do we notice as we approach the castle that those noises like go away, or are they still? Does it still seem normal as far as that goes?
When you were making your way up through most of the woods and stuff, when it was still around like dusk or twilight, you were hearing a bit more noise. Although, especially deer, that's pretty much the time that they forage is around really low light. But once it goes dark, then it kind of shifts, and now it's only things like owls and stuff that are actually hunting because they've got the vision to see through it. As far as the wolves, it's sort of the same thing, especially when you're doing the scouting runs. It was definitely like a late afternoon, early evening thing. Whereas at night, it's usually again more quiet. And tonight, it does seem to be especially quiet in the woods once it got dark. Besides the sounds of the water and the river sort of bubbling by, you haven't noticed any differences in the noises of the night. I mean, you've got your crickets and your cicadas still going off what are they called, the bush crickets. The ones that are making that constant chewing sound until 11 p.m. or so. You still kind of hear them going on. It is still July. This is a wooded area, so you've definitely got a lot of insects. But as far as wolves, deer, squirrels, not so much. All right, so we head up to here. So I'll go wide shot. This is essentially like we're looking down, like so here's the clock house. Here's the little foyer or whatever. Here's like the stairs up. Coming out of the tower, kind of goes over this little bridge to the main street. And then same thing, if you came out here, this will go down to that one gate. This will go wrap around to where the stables were, and then this is like sloped down. So if this is a bridge, this is like a little like tunnel kind of that goes underneath, comes out the other side. You've got a tree here for cover. Here's where the road heads out over this the main bridge. And then here's that little turnaround stairs up to the little plateau by the guard houses. That's this little area here. It is a lot more curvy and a lot more angles because this was 1200s, and they weren't really big into like right angles, as you can see from the sort of roundish shape of each of these flat sides. But I did kind of flatten it out, make it a little bit more flat so it would fit onto Visio a little bit cleaner, especially since we use the square grids rather than the hex. But this is essentially roughly what you're seeing if everyone gets the orientation right. As far as levels, I mean, this is pretty much all at one level. This is much higher up. So if you remember, like here, so you've got, maybe a 20, 25-foot wall, a little higher here. Here it's much higher. And there is a little bit over the side here where you could come up. But like this wall right here is going to be a lot higher. And when we're going through, if you're unclear what something looks like, we can flip back to the pictures so you get a better idea. I didn't know where everyone was going to be standing, so I kind of have everyone thrown out here, but you could position yourself however you want. I guess we'll say for here, if everyone wants to buff up, as it were, and throw on your various boons. I think Eddie said he was going to throw up at least the group telepathy.
Yep. Yeah, if we all turn into animals or if we want to just sneak around, I can do the telepathy thing. It's up to everyone else.
Yeah,
I think
it seems
it's
like
useful.
the telepathy thing would be useful. Kurt, I don't. Aren't the colors of those sentries reversed from the picture, or am I imagining that?
The color themes don't match. So this is the same red bad guys, yellow being the powered down bad guys that we were using. When I did these, I was looking for high visibility, so I went with yellow so you could see it. And then when Almadija did her true sight and I had to throw something else in the last minute, I used green to distinguish it. So, no, the colors don't match.
Okay.
So Blitzman and Shooting Star, who should I boost and what should I boost as a bolster?
Maybe you should bolster someone else's like agility to make them sneak better if they're really down.
Well, I was actually just gonna say maybe you should bolster Mike. What is Mike? What do you use for shooting? Is it agility?
It's just agility.
I
Yeah.
can bolster. I'll bolster Blue Suit's agility.
All right. I mean, it's fine.
But, well, I mean, you can. I think Mike's concern was not everything uses that though. He doesn't use it all the time, whereas someone else, like that's their main stat. They use it for absolutely everything.
Right. I was just thinking, like, I mean, you can boost me if you want, but I mean, other people, I mean, like boosting someone like Taylor to make his ability, like, I don't know, might help like him more than it would help me, I guess. If that makes any sense.
Oh yeah. Let's boost Taylor. Yeah.
I mean, I
Boost him.
appreciate it and I take it. I'm just saying, I guess it wouldn't give us as much of an advantage if I had it, I guess.
No, I'm with you. That's why I put out the question. Go, Taylor. It's your birthday. Your head has been invaded by the presence of Jobu. He is helping you be more agile, like a kitty cat.
So I have that, and I got the Latin.
Exactly.
No, wait,
Latin and Portuguese.
No, I mean
Portuguese.
but Taylor, are you using what would you want boosted? Would it be agility or would it be your other
I assumed alteration.
Alteration.
I was thinking maybe agility to stay just stealthy, but maybe just to max myself out, it would be good for alteration. I don't know. What do you think? It's more stealthy or like more?
Well, I wouldn't use the. Well, I'm the GM. I shouldn't say anything. I was going to say that the whole you can only do one bolster, so you want to pick someone where like that's their main stat, and that's what they're using all the time. I don't know. I know you use the alteration to polymorph and do some stuff, but you also use might to do your actual like attacks and stuff. Whereas, like Eddie, like influence, that's kind of all he does, other than maybe an energy for like his fire attack or Blitzman, or or even Shooting Star, his agility. That's kind of all of his attacks can be based off of that.
Yeah, I guess.
So for you, I mean, agility. I think that helps some of your attacks depending on what form you're in. Might, I think you use a lot for damage, and then alteration for doing your other stuff. So that might be a mix for you.
All right, pick one. You got it.
Yeah, just go alteration. I feel like I can do a lot more with that.
Okay. And anyone else for boons to come
on? No.
Yeah, I'm gonna do haste, Kurt. I don't have the feat to just get it, so do we just say that I'm gonna keep trying until it works, kind of thing? Or?
Yeah, this is where before you're starting, so you're taking 10 essentially to turn things on.
Thanks.
You're getting your cells turned on. Fired up maybe is a better way to say it.
Fired up, yep.
Oh, I'm gonna go fuck me some Clockwork Knights. They better have the working. I told you those fuel ports would be useful for something.
That's why I have a long pointy stick.
I hope Taylor's not taking us to the bathroom. You can leave your laptop there if you need to go to the restroom. I don't know if it was some Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, a Guy Ritchie movie. He does a lot of the shots with where the camera's like on a rig, so that when they move, the camera like moves with them, and it's a neat kind of effect. I thought that would be kind of the ultimate teams meeting. Everyone just has these mounted cameras, so you could like have the meeting, go walk down, and make yourself a cup of tea and still have the camera going. But then, yeah, you have to remember when you go to the restroom, turn that shit off. Okay, if that's it for your buffs and stuff, you can describe what you would like to do. Again, I mean, you're all kind of gathered down here. You can't see them where you are now, but you can see them from when you did the initial scout out. These are the sentries that you're looking at. So I mean, this is the red one. This is the yellow powered down one. They just happen to be.
I think our thought process
Go ahead.
was we were going to go around the side there and try to go up that way because I have my grappling hook, my claw. So we're going to kind of go in this area here, and I was thinking I would probably Taylor's going to go up on the roof there. I mean that's what we were thinking, right, Eric? If I recall.
I think that would be a good idea, especially for those that don't have climb and need to scramble up or use teleport. Maybe we should have us come from both directions, just so that we're ready to hit them from both sides, because we're going to have to take this one sentry out regardless.
Yeah, I would say if you had climb or teleport, this section of wall here, that's going to be pretty much like a 30 feet means you're up and like right just over the top or perched on the edge. Whereas on this side, on the high side of it, that's maybe only like 10 feet. So that would be like an agility check or something to try to pull yourself up and vault up over the wall. And then the other consideration is while the one on the right is powered down, the rest of them, are active and may react as soon as they see someone. And as I said, the tables aren't here.
Are there
so
actually tables on this area, on
He
the
said no,
landing
they're
area?
not.
No, there are not. There are not tables.
Okay.
Negative tables.
I'll go up because I can teleport up, so I'll go up the sort of like here, I guess.
Okay, I guess if you want to say, we'd have to go into some sort of order between you, but this would be like your surprise action, as it were, if you're trying to like take the guy and as far as try to move.
Yeah, so we'll coordinate so we all show up at the same time as much as possible. I would.
Well, we all have telepathy, right? So we all are in each other's heads.
Right.
Technically. Yeah. So we can technically do that to a degree.
So I guess if you want to describe, so for the net, when you do, execute your maneuver, your tactic, if you want to say like where you want to go to and how you're going to get there. So I think, well, Lars, you said you were going to go to here.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
Okay.
So where is Taylor right now? That's the question. Is he still flying or is he with us?
I'm thinking I was going to go on that little parapet thing, that little circular thing to the left of, I think, Blue Suit.
Yeah, like right on top of here.
Yeah. I'll perch. Just keep an overwatch.
Blitzman's gonna go here.
So Blitzman, can you have haste and teleport at the same time? I'm just wondering how that works.
Yeah, haste he's just sustaining as a minor action, and then his teleport would be his move action.
Awesome. Okay.
I'm going to. I would like to fire my grapple up to basically like clamp onto the roof, and and then I'm gonna use the quick release to pull me up so that I can basically get up to the roof, or if need be, I'll be able to drop off at the same time everyone else is doing their thing, like as needed. If I need to swoop down or whatever. Go Batman.
I guess what would be the like row, as it were, that you
Right on the corner there. Right on the corner. Like no. So I'm gonna move over to the corner. Oh, sorry, I can annotate. I'm gonna move the corner here.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna go up to basically try to get here.
Oh, you're gonna like grapple onto the corner
Right.
of the building and
Right.
zip up and then drop down, or
if need be, yeah, drop down or I'll make the decision when we get there, I guess.
Okay. So
my plan is to come right up the side since I've got haste on. I'm moving at 55, and I want to end up in that square.
Okay. Yeah. So you're gonna like run right up the wall and then like land there.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask Eddie for a favor and say, "Hey, yo, do you think you can boost me up there? You can teleport me up."
Sure, yeah.
Nice. I like going through your dimension.
He
It makes me happy.
He can do that, or also if you wanted to come around to the other side, you could also do just a climb over there. Or actually, you do. I think you still don't. You have the climb at your feet now.
I do. Yep.
So
Yeah, but I want Eddie to teleport me because then that way we'll be close to each other if I need to heal him.
There you go.
Well, I guess so you can, and I get that in story wise for your I don't know surprise action. This is kind of like one action, so it's not like a full turn of all the. I'm going to teleport here, then I do double move to here, and then a minor action. No, this is just like one shot. So like moving would be one, or like teleporting you would be one, and then moving would be another one for him. So that would be harder. He could send you up on the first action, but then he'd still be down there and have to come up next if you wanted to.
All right. So he can teleport up. I'll climb the rope then.
No, it's fine. I can teleport you up. I'm basically useless anyway, so don't worry about it. So I'll teleport her up, and then I'll use a major action to teleport myself up as well.
Okay. And then where do you want to be standing, and where do you want to place her or drop her?
I guess wherever Mike wants.
I mean,
if
you could drop me there. Yeah, drop me over there. That'd be awesome.
Okay. So you'll drop there, and then for that you'd have to be within range. We'll say you're behind her there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so let's see. Coordination. Let's do a willpower check. I mean, this is just keeping the plan in your head, keeping everything coordinated, listening to everyone's go, no go for launch, to coordinate how well you all. I mean, because this is not too easy. You're trying to teleport and jump and run and all arrive. You got to fire off your grappling gun and all come down at the same time.
23 for willpower.
Okay.
What are we rolling? Sorry.
Willpower.
Willpower check.
Oh boy. I'm gonna watch
24.
This one sucks.
My six-sider exploded.
It exploded. Oh, that's not that bad. Still not great though.
Dirty 20.
Oh, there you go. I got a 12.
23.
I'm telling you right now, I'm probably gonna be saving all my stuff for the fight. 12.
Well, okay.
Get all this
So-
out of the way now.
Everyone is pretty well timed, well coordinated, and able to keep everything on par. 212s, you're maybe not quite as on the ball, but you're still able to follow the plan, and everyone else moving in position, you pretty much moved with them. So you are able to move as a cohesive group in this little pincer attack here. And then we'll be going into essentially your surprise attack and then the actual action. So just give me your initiative roll for the battle, which will ensue.
$17.
7, and I have advantage 2, guys.
Getting all that ugly dice out of the way, though. You're finding out who are your friends.
One
Dice
exploded.
friends.
I really hope my die rolls hold out because it seems like I'm using them all up now. But 29.
9.
I want a stat that uses die ones.
21.
Everything explodes.
15.
17, 15, 9, 7, 9. Sure.
We've
No,
been
I'm
getting
definitely
these. Oh, I was just going to say we've been getting these nonstop calls for you have a problem with your iCloud account, and yeah, no, it's some robocall. Get 2 or 3 of them in a row in about 3 minutes.
Yeah, they're getting pretty frustrating.
A lot of
times
them come through Quebec, like that. I've noticed the scammy ones for we're gonna help you fix your credit and all that crap. It's like Quebec every time, and I'm like, all right.
Yeah, they scam your number. It's Templeton, Peter Sam. Yeah.
Okay, so you using your telepathy, you coordinate your strike, and you all teleport up onto the terrace and appear rather coordinated, and we'll go in initiative order. So you're now up on the top, and the Lightning Man goes first. And this is your normal full round action.
Okay, I was just gonna ask that. Okay. So I'm gonna attack the sentry. A damaging attack. And there it is, folks. There goes my luck, right down the toilet.
Saw it coming. Just saying.
Roll agility for walking down some random hill. 62. Perception 87. Okay, this is the crucial point. You got to do a damaging attack. 3. I rolled a 4 for initiative. So
I had a couple explosions, so it actually turned out to be a total of 20, surprisingly, and that's with a 1 on my 20-sider.
okay, so you do score a hit. The lightning bolt hits the thing down its leg.
Okay, and I'm going to use my hasted attack, which is at a what I keep wanting to say -3 or whatever. What is it?
Yeah,
Is it
yeah.
3?
Disadvantage 3.
Disadvantage 3? Okay. I was trying to remember if it was 3. Okay. Hasted attack. Wow. So with my hasted attack, I rolled 5 die 8s. All of them came up with a 1, and my 20-sider is a 3. So, no. That was terrible.
That one misses him just by a nose.
That is shockingly bad.
Hey, at least he got a Yahtzee.
There you go. You got to,
5 1s.
it's all about perspective.
Well, the lightning bolt does kind of zigzag, so it goes right for, and it just zigzags right around him and hits the wall right behind him.
Yeah. Okay,
it's these old doors. They have these big steel bolts, so the lightning just got pulled right to those steel bolts. It just wanted to go right into the ground. Okay, next is blue suit. So we'll say you're up on your grapple's attached. You're flying up through the air. You're a few feet above the terrace. If you want to keep going or land.
Yeah, I'm going to continue to go up and actually try to get up on the roof, and then detach, the cable for. I'll detach the grapple because I'm retracting it.
Okay.
So whatever that, I'm guessing that'll be like my actions will be to go on, move up, and then get up on. I don't know how steep it is. Is it?
It is pretty bloody steep. This is more than a 45-degree angle, and it's slate. So I'd say because of the, I mean, first you'd have to do an agility check to just be standing, to get up rather than just hanging, standing here. And then you might be able to move down, shimmy your way down along it, but going up and over would probably be too difficult.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right. So let's change. Yeah. So I'm hanging on. All right. Instead of that, I'm not gonna go all the way up. Then I'm gonna drop down. So I won't go all the way up. I'll be like do like the zit and then like kind of just drop down and detach the claw so it retracts back into the gun, and then.
And you were pulled up from
Right.
here. You've got a little bit of forward momentum, so you could probably land.
Yeah,
Anywhere
go 10 foot
easily.
in. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I will. I'm guessing that I can't attack or make an action, or.
I'm doing it with that. That was just the one action to move into place. Now you basically got a full turn.
So switch the gun over to straight up pneumatic, and I'll just do a damaging shot.
Okay. And the door is not open. That's just where it moves.
That's what I was figuring. If it was open, I figured you'd tell me.
Yeah, you fire the air blast and it shuts the door really solidly.
It makes such a loud slam that they're like, everyone in the castle.
The whole building, slates start falling off the roof onto your head.
Blue Suit, didn't we say something about like maybe blowing foam towards their feet to keep them from communicating with the other ones? Was that something that we were?
Yeah, if he wanted to do his grease attack that normally does silenced, that silence could apply to these things.
It's the glue that actually does it. It's the glue that does the silence, because it's like you put a glue on. So yeah, I can use glue on them if I need to. So I roll a dirty 20.
Okay. Yeah, that scores a hit. Just barely do damage.
Is it 5 more than their?
Yep. No.
Okay. If it was, it's painful. So Okay, and then as my minor action, I will actually slap the glue cartridge into my gun.
Okay. Let's see, and shooting star.
All right, I was thinking of taking a step forward, but I didn't want to cause an issue in case Blue Suit used a push attack and sent it flying into me. So I'll stay right where I am, and I'll attack him once. Ooh, 19 on that roll. So 23 is the attack. Oh, sorry, 21. 22. I can add. I can, honest. 22 is that attack roll.
Okay, same thing as before. You did hit, so you do some damage.
Yep. And then I'm not going to move. I'm just going to do my disadvantaged attack. Another 19. No kidding.
Well, did you put haste on?
Yeah. I have haste and resistance.
Yeah, okay. I got
that.
resistance. I didn't get haste, but
that's why I said I was moving 55.
Okay. I didn't catch that, but you have the ability to do it, so no worries.
Yeah. So with disadvantage, I got the exact same roll as last time.
Okay, so you hit again.
22.
Small amount of damage. You crane your lucerne hammer into the Iron Knight.
Yep.
And Oliver Ramos. And I'm getting, it looks like low bandwidth. I don't know if Eddie can hear me. Yeah, I'll skip and come back to him if his connection comes back. Or if it's my connection, or WebEx. So let's say the Metamorph.
No, I see it as well from Eddie.
All right. So I'm pretty sure when I shoot out like a bowling ball or something like that, it's using the alteration, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And if I threw a knife at this guy, would it do 0 like damage at all, or should I go more of a bowling ball on this one? Like,
Uh,
because I think we were talking about more of like piercing's good for these guys.
yeah, piercing's good with enough force. Yeah. So I mean, if it's a dagger kind of stabbing, you're throwing it to stick in between gears, that could work.
Okay. Yeah.
If you're
That's
trying
what I'm
to
gonna do.
slashing attack, if you're trying to slit its throat, that's probably not going to be much.
So as the invisible owl, I'll throw a knife at him.
Like out of its beak.
Actually, I should probably go. I should probably move away, change out of the owls. Well, it doesn't change my alteration, so it actually doesn't really matter. So I could just do it for as an owl. Yeah.
Yeah, well, owls do that thing like they eat mice whole, and they digest them all, and then they puke up all their bones and that little like
It's a hell of
kernel.
an egg if you think about it.
There's a whole name for it. So owls are used to puking up stuff. So you're just puking up throwing knives.
Yeah. 14 is not too bad. And so I'm bolstered, right? So bolster 2?
Pretty sure they're owl pellets.
I think I'm bolster 6.
That's advantage 2.
Okay. So that's 2 on 2d8s. So 7 and a 4. That's a 25.
25. All right.
Liking that bolster already.
So the knife sticks like right into the thing's chest, like right where its heart would be, which is still a bunch of gears and shit. So it gives a good snapping of little brass gears as it embeds in his chest. But yeah, most damage done so far.
Welcome back, Eddie.
And then any other moves or minors?
I guess I'll fly up like 30 feet.
Okay.
That's what I'll do.
And still roughly the same position.
Yep, and I'll do I'll thank Jobu.
Okay.
Just offer up a little prayer. He'll take it.
And Almond Eater. Oh, sorry, Eddie. We skipped you. It said low bandwidth, and I couldn't see or hear you. So we just skipped over and went with Metamorph. So you can go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just teleport up.
Okay, and the wall's not all that high, so you could go diagonal if you wanted to make it. You could probably make it anywhere around here.
I'll just go right over there.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
was
The so Blue Suit has the Latin whispering in his mind, and now you're standing behind him whispering in his ear as well. He's getting his Latin whispering in stereo now.
I'll shoot a small fireball at number 1 over there.
Oh, for your influence attacks, I think you're okay with line of sight, but with Blue Suit right in front of you, I think it's too difficult to get a shot off, as it were.
Okay.
Watch him fire anyway. Well, if he's in the way, who cares?
Then I won't do anything then. I'll just stay there.
Okay. And Almediter.
I'm going to run up beside the fast one there.
Here?
Shooting star, yep. And I'm going to use my dirk and stab it in one of the input ports.
Okay.
So agility, correct?
Yes, yeah. Just normal agility roll for the damaging attack, and I'll take essentially the roll for accuracy.
13.
13. You stab at it, and it's like a glancing blow. Like the tip of the blade hits and just skates right off to the side. It makes a horrible screech kind of sound, like metal on metal.
And I flip him the bird as a minor action.
So he is standing here. I guess. No, so he starts to react. He has a shield. What was some kind of one of those shields, but it was kind of like point down with his hand on top of it, kind of like standing at attention. So he picks up the shield off of the floor, draws a sword out of his scabbard. Also has a dagger at his waist, and he's gonna let's see.
I honestly thought he was gonna immediately like run and go like wee woo wee woo wee woo.
He may be calling for help if you can hear something.
Oh, he does have the little tap tap tappies.
Yeah.
Look for the tappies.
Listen. Let's see. Okay, so he's gonna attack Almadita. He takes a swing at her with his sword, and Almadita, I've got your guard is 14.
Yep. Now, is this the next round, or is this still the same round?
Same round.
That actually is an excellent point. This is a surprise round. No, this was a surprise round. They don't get an attack this round. So it actually goes back to the top of the order with Lightning Man. Although he is reacting, pulling up his shield, and you do hear some noise coming from this one. I'll go.
Oh boy.
Almost like it's powering up, or the batteries are coming on. Back to Lightning Man.
All right. Kurt, do I need to take a 5-foot step to the left or something?
Yeah, to be able to hit him.
Okay. Does that give me enough clearance to hit him?
Yeah.
Okay. I am attacking. 20.
It hits, so you do some damage to it as the lightning strikes the thing's chest again. It's definitely getting some black carbon scoring on the front, in between the dagger, still embedded in his chest.
Okay. I'm gonna glance over to Sentry 2, and does it seem like it's waking up over there? Being that I heard some noise from over there.
It's doing more than it was before, but beyond that, it's too hard to say.
Okay. I'm gonna use my hasted attack against number 1. There go all the good rolls. 16.
16 misses and almost singes Almadita's hair as the bolt flings by just a little wide.
Okay.
I needed a haircut, so that's good.
That's it.
You got to pull the Adam from Mythbusters. Am I missing an eyebrow? All right, blue suit.
All right. I am going to inflict the immobilized Bane with my glue.
Okay.
Silenced. Sorry. So I'm trying to invoke silenced on him.
Okay.
That is because Mike reminded me a while ago.
Let's see. Let's see. Well, you've got the telepathy up, so I mean, like I said, I don't have like a report exactly what's going on with this guy, but like it was completely silent and unmoving, and it appears to be moving, or at least shifting in position, or if it raised its head or some minor motion. It was enough for a couple of you to notice there was something going on with this one. So you're thinking it might have already been woken up by this one. I mean, you could still silence it, but you are
Oh, so
seeing some
our attack
activity on this one.
initiated this thing to do, even though it was a surprise for it to do its ability to communicate with whatever.
Yeah, well, so and maybe this is its initial shout out, but you don't really know how it works distance wise. If it's only ones within
Okay.
eye shot or
So
within
you're
a
saying
certain range.
silencing it would probably be a waste of an attack? Is that?
Not 100%. This could, if it's got to do it one at a time, it's possible this thing could, I don't know, maybe reach out to this one. So silencing it could still be. It's just in case you hadn't noticed you were away. This one was starting to wake up. So you're in your mind, your engineer's mind, you're weighing that in your head.
So then this is what I'm going to do instead. I'm going to move to here.
Okay.
And I'm going to silence number 2 because I can shoot up to 100 feet with my gun.
Yep.
So I'm going to attempt to inflict the silence bane on number 2.
Okay. I'll get it ready just in case.
$17.
Does it say on there the stat that it's against?
Hold on.
Silence is one of those weird ones that could
It's
may
versus
still be
toughness.
guard. Toughness?
Yep.
Okay. So you do correctly kind of like envelop its feet in this newly modified foam stuff, so it does appear to be silenced.
So it says, if might, agility, or entropy is used to inflict the bane, then the character is suffering strangulation and unable to speak. This would be something's gumming up the gears, almost literally, with the glue shot. So this is
yeah, or deadening the noise that it's making by tapping.
Right. If that is indeed what it would try to do, that's what I'm attempting to do.
Yeah, and I'm saying that you think that succeeded. Like its feet are nice and covered in the foam. You can't so much hear it's tapping really, but it looks like it's a good solid.
Right, because I just don't want it to start calling in other ones near it. So that is what I do, and I am done.
Okay, and shooting star.
All right, I'm going to again attack number 1. I will make that 5-foot straightforward step, so I'm to the side of him. And here goes my attack. How is this? 3 19s in a row. That's ridiculous. Oh, much better roll this time. Total of 30.
So, wow, that's going to definitely do better.
Hey, that might be a +10.
It is. So you do you hit it hard. The thing pierces deep into its chest. You do a lot of damage, and you get to throw a free bane on top of that.
And I think that persistent damage is one of those that I can choose.
Yeah.
So that's what I'll do.
All right.
And now I'll do the other attack.
Well, maybe like you're sapping up his gears.
4 19s in a row.
You're the math teacher. Tell us the chance.
But this time it's a total of 21 to hit.
Okay.
2 1s on the. I had 3 1s, a 2, and an 8 on the 5 8-siders. Wow.
So that one was just where the other one was like a solid, like deep. You felt some.
Yeah.
You're like turning it as you're pulling it out and hearing bending metal. This one was more of a glancing blow, but you still took a chunk out of it.
Yeah. Or I might have hit the same hole and just nothing when you roll. bowling and there's that open spot, you miss completely.
Yeah, you missed right down the middle. Like how can I
Get
yeah,
one.
we'll say the 19, like it went right in the exact same hole and it just
Yeah.
took a little bit more damage as you pulled it out. But you're like, I mean, you get that at the range too. If you fire it, you
Yeah.
make a nice hole in the target, and the other one goes right through, and everyone's like, "Oh, you missed." It's like I didn't miss; I was bullseye spot on. Okay, let's see.
Right, that's it.
Those two and Oliver Ramos.
Well, I guess I can shoot him now. No one's in my way. I'll just do that. You know what?
Yeah, do we know that fire does damage to these guys? Did your thing hit last time?
Yeah, it works.
Yeah, fire can do damage to it.
Okay.
It's kind of like that. It's almost he's like making them burn from the inside. And they've got the little, the warping of the metal.
I'm gonna try. Let's do a dominate on number 1. No, that's a no. That's a big old no right there. That was a 4. I'll just. Let's move to the door. Actually, can I see through the window?
So even where you're standing, you can try peering through the window, but it looks like on the inside of it, it's got boarded planks. Usually in these the older kind of buildings, they don't have shutters on the outside. They just have these pre-built. They've got like wood slats with cross slats. You just hang them on the inside to kind of brace the window. So it's like it's blocked. So you're just seeing wood on the inside of the glass. They're all not that. They're all not. Well, they're decent size. Yeah, I get a little window up above it too.
Let's move 15 feet forward. I'll open the door or attempt to open the door. I'll just try to crack it open.
Actually, it's nighttime, so you can't see anything through it, but you are seeing a dim light through the window. So, like like the equivalent of candlelight or like a low lit room. You try to open the door, but it's locked.
All right, and then I'll back up another 2 feet or 10 feet. Excuse me.
So there. Okay, and metamorph. Go a little wider in case you want a bigger picture.
Oh, thank you. Okay. I'm gonna. If I just, yeah, I should do the same thing because I'm bolstered with that. I mean, that's my best bet. So I'm gonna use. I had to throw away my third knife, but so I only have 2. This is my second knife. I'm gonna throw.
You could take it out once he's dead.
yeah. I'm gonna have to re-put it back in. So. Okay, I'll take that.
Actually, this sentry has a knife in a scabbard on his belt. If you have room for another one, you can take his too.
Shit. 8 into an 8 into a 6. I'll take that. 10. 26. 26 plus 15. 41.
And this is the knife. You're doing the knife puke again. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So you take off, and you from the air, like firing down this knife puke. The blade seems to like enter at the neck, and it go. I mean, obviously the thing doesn't have a garrote or anything, but it must have hit one of the nodes, like right inside the top of the chest, because the second the knife goes in, the thing just like collapses to the ground. Like there's a moment as it starts to teeter, and it's like the pistons give, and it just crumples into a pile on the ground.
Sweet. I'm gonna rush over to him and go. Just I'm still invisible, so I don't. Well, I can tell people where I am because we have telepathy.
So I didn't have your invisibility open.
But yeah, I'm gonna go over to that sentry and pick up both of my daggers.
Okay, so I'll pull that off.
I would have to. What is the boon? Absorb object. I think it's a if it's a minor, I could do one of them right now. Absorb object.
Or you can grab them in your claws and absorb them.
Yeah, then I wouldn't be using the alteration though. Which is just the
Technically, you could
juicy.
just pick them up, and then you could do absorb.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You could pick them up in your claws and then like absorb them into your body on another turn. It is a major action to do that.
Yeah, I just saw that. I was hoping it was bonus. All right, I'm just right over that sentry. That's me.
Yeah. I just put it there. All right. And Metamorph Almadieter. So this one is, yeah, I mean, obviously he drops you if you're, checking your corners. It does seem to be like the head is raising, its chest is kind of shifting position a little bit, but it does have this big foam glue, or surrounding its base.
So I am going to take 5. So put me behind with Ramos, and I'm going to step away for a few minutes and just keep me as defensive only for just a couple minutes, and I'll be right back.
Okay. And one is down. And it's actually his turn. And he goes. Bang. He appears to come online.
So they're bottom of the order. Is that a correct assessment?
Yeah, I rolled a 4 in initiative,
Okay.
so that's the bottom of the order. It was his turn. He's going to come online and try to resist.
Yeah, I was very surprised he went after me. I think I rolled like a
Shapeshifters.
5 or 6.
Is just a double check. Is this potent?
Let me double check.
I mean, knowing blue suit probably.
If I could, yes. Potent costs almost nothing to put on items. It's like amazing.
Okay, I'll add the little E on there. So it's 2 dice. 16 to 15, it does. So it was silenced for a second. 1's down, 2's down.
Oh, that disadvantage didn't come to my advantage, I guess. Darn.
And that is it for its turn. It was essentially, between moves, minors, and mages to do the sufficient. The rest of us waking up. So it is up. And I mean, and as far as you know, if something is aggroed, it's only 2 so far as you can see where you are.
And it looks like it cracked the glue off, or it looks like.
Yeah, it's like it finally finished coming online, stood up a little bit, and then just like pulled its feet, snapping it up out of the foam, out of the gear, and stepping back in. And you're all kind of tucked in here, so you imagine you're all kind of in here. You can't quite, I mean, I guess supposed to be peered over the edge, although he's really standing over next to the door, like over here. You can't really see him. And then from where you're standing too, it's hard to see these other 2 chaps up here. But this one, at least you can tell, is active and seems to be going to be taking some action. As we go back to the top of the order with Blitzman.
All right. I'm going to step up in front of the owl there. And I will make an attack against number 2 for damaging.
Okay.
22.
Hits. No, not a lot, but you hit it for damage. Oops. You did period damage. You did a point. And Excel did not like that.
And if it's high enough, I'm Bane Focus stunned.
Yeah, it's not.
Okay. Okay. Attacking again. Oh, I gotta do the -3 or the disadvantage 3. There goes all the good rolls again. Yeah, that's a miss at 12.
Let's see, 12. Yeah, so it falls short, just grounds out on the cobblestones in front of it. And next, blue suit.
Is the owl on the ground? Are you on the ground?
At the moment, yes.
All right, so I'm gonna step to the right 5 feet, or my character's right 5 feet, just to get out of his way.
Well, I mean, he probably would fly up rather than walk through you, but
Okay. Yeah, then I'll just stay there then.
I'm gonna
Done.
do a damaging attack with my glue. Focus.
if anything, he'll use his claws to kind of like climb up your back, and then spring, perch with its claws on your head, and then jump off.
I'm gonna do a focused action. Gives me advantage. So on number 2, I'm just gonna try to do a damaging attack with my glue shot.
Okay.
Ooh, I like this. I like it a lot. Oh boy, oh baby. Finally, here we go. This guy's not going to be in good shape because I'm going to reapply the silent thing to him. Either that or incapacitate, one of the two. Just re-roll this one because that exploded. Alright, cool. So let's see here. 31 is the damaging attack, and I get to apply a Bane with Baneful. Gentlemen, what do you think? Silenced or incapacitated?
I'd say silenced.
All right, we'll stick with silence, Kurt. I will apply the silenced 2.
Okay.
Silenced 2 Bane. And that's it for me because it was focused action. That was an awesome roll.
Silenced. All right, and shooting star.
I counted it out. It's exactly 55, so I'm going to go right up to him, straight at him, along the side of the building there. And I'm going to do a damaging attack.
All right.
Well, not quite as high as 16 on the 20. So that is 25 total.
5. You do hit, and let's see. Yeah, it's just +5, so it's just the damaging attack.
And so I'm going to hit him again with the disadvantaged attack.
All right.
All right, that is a total of a miss.
Okay.
That's only 14, so it's a miss.
Yeah, just glances. All right, and Oliver Ramos. You're on mute or not here? Eddie.
Eddie died
Sorry.
again.
No.
Eddie, did you get new glasses?
I did get new glasses, yes.
Nice.
They're
Oh, I
very
didn't notice. Then your eyesight's better than mine. Of course, he is in an almost pitch black room.
Yeah, basically.
I do like the kind of purple mood lighting though.
Thank you.
What's the light source on that? Is it
It's just like
shroud on?
it's a hue bulb or a couple of hue bulbs. Just they're all hooked up, and then I've got a little switch back here. Just kind of changes a bunch of colors anytime I want.
Oh, you can cycle through. I don't think I've ever seen one of those. Yeah, purple definitely looks the best.
Yeah, everything else reads kind of weird. Let's go 30 feet forward or to the right, I guess. Just I want to get closer to 2. Is that going to be enough? No, I'm still like just out of range.
15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, just one.
Try rushing into the building and maybe. There's obviously going to be a big red button that says automatic shut off.
Yeah.
Of course. No, of course. Yeah.
You just have to walk inside and press the button, and the whole place shuts down.
I guess instead of doing that, I'll go to the door and take out the lock picking kit that I totally super duper know how to use.
Okay.
Got one of those too.
And then try and open the door.
I should make you some lock picking gloves like mine, but I can't.
Yeah, just give me an agility check.
Alrighty. This is gonna go well, of course, as always. 13.
13 is not enough. You're messing with it, and the pins seem to be like the door itself looks like it's from the 1200s. The latches, the metalwork looks like it was maybe updated since then. The lock and the actual lock mechanism itself looks like it was put in like a week ago. I mean, just like it does. Once you see it up close, it doesn't fit. It looks like one of the doors you just have to stick one of those like giant keys in
Sure.
with like a single plate and turn it. When you get up to it, it's like an actual modern lock and a pretty well designed one.
Alright, I'll keep at it and just sit there in front of the door.
Okay. And so Ramos Metamorph.
Okay, I'm gonna fly. Well, I'm of course gonna jump on top of Lightning Man's back
Yep.
and then jump off of him, of course.
Okay.
And then
damage.
do. I'll say like a thanks, buddy, in our telepathy. I'm gonna do a wide arc around with 80 feet of movement. So I can kind of get a good angle at this guy.
Did you drop owl pellets on him?
Oh, don't just drop knives from the air. Doo. Hope I don't miss.
Owl pellets the size of bowling balls.
Oh, is this the pen? So I think if you moved 80, I know you're swinging out an arc. If you moved 80 straight, you'd make it to here. So I suppose if you want, you want to swing more like a wider arc, like you're getting an eye on him.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say that puts you.
I'm guessing somewhere like lower, a little bit to the left of where they actually are. Yeah,
Maybe
somewhere
like
around
right
there.
here. Well,
And then open up my mouth for a big bowling ball I'm going to shoot out.
okay.
Jobu, be with me. Oh, same exact roll as 2 15s in a row. Let's see if I get to 4 times. And... Okay. I rolled 4 d8s, and I got 3 8s.
These are some strong
eight,
daggers. These are
Okay.
adamantium daggers. Tell me.
Oh, this one's a bowling ball. I don't have any more daggers.
Oh, okay. Ball.
Okay, it's into a 7 and 8.
It's
You have a
easy
dagger in
bowling
each
ball.
claw.
So 8 times 3. 8 times 3 is 24, plus 13 is 35, plus the original, that's a 50.
50.
That's a
I
50
don't
bowling
think
ball.
you're counting this correctly. When you have advantage 2, that just means you take the top 2 dice that you rolled.
You get
Yes. So I rolled 8, 8, 1, 8. So I only have
Right.
2 8s.
Right.
And then on those 2 8s, I got into a 7 and an 8. And then that 8
wow.
into a 6.
Cool.
And then the original 15.
That
was juicer.
52. I have. So you rolled a 15 in the die 20. You got 2 8s essentially. One you re-rolled is an 8. Oh, one is a 7. Did you say? I guess it's 6.
Yeah, the original 8's into a 7 8. And then that other 8 into a 6. So 3 8s, 7 6, and a 15.
You're correct, Kurt. 52.
Yeah, 52.
Oh, I was 2 off.
Yeah, like again, your it's your owl eyesight or something. You can almost like see where the nodes would have been in it from what you studied, and the thing just goes down in one shot.
Joe Boo to the rescue.
Yeah.
He is
That advantage.
he is permanently silenced.
Like wherever his like engine is or whatever, I'm just gonna have the bowling ball just sink into that part.
Yeah, just like crushed it in and wherever it was. Okay.
And maybe pin him against the wall too. Fuck it, if I can.
Alma Dieter, it's your turn if you want to say what you do.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk
Are
up
we
next
out of
to.
combat or no?
Maybe. You don't know
Okay.
yet.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk up next to.
Veronica.
Let's see, to Oliver Ramos and say, "May I take a turn at the lock?"
Mm-hmm.
Go right ahead.
Alrighty. Okay.
Oh, and I moved it.
28.
Yes.
28 is enough. You do hear the lock pop open.
Woohoo!
Plant.
I rolled a natural 20 and then another 6 with my 2.
And that was Alma Dieter. That is the end of the turn. If any of you want to do, I don't know. I guess you're kind of at the corner. Taylor, you can kind of see this area from where you are. If anyone wants to, well, you could do a perception check. If the rest of you want to, well, all right. Well, I guess the door is open if you want to head in, or if you want to check your surrounding, if there's any other.
I was
active
gonna
assailants.
just like peek one eye around the corner to see if I could see the guy in red number.
Yeah, so I
whatever he
mean,
is. The one
this is-
straight along the wall.
Yeah. I mean, this guy, he's kind of through the trees. He's a little bit hard to see.
Yeah,
Taylor's
yeah.
kind
No,
of
I
out
wasn't
here,
looking
so
for
he
him.
can see where he is. And then
Number
we'll look at
5.
the reverse angle. Yeah, so here you are at this corner, looking up for that guy back there.
A total of 5. I don't think I saw much.
I got 10.
You did
5 is alive.
like you peeked around the corner just a little bit too fast. Sorry,
Yeah.
Taylor. What was your roll?
10. It was
A
terrible.
10. So I mean,
That's my high stat.
you can make it out somewhat through the trees at the high angle, but you can't tell if it's moving or not or what it's doing.
And this is a tree, right?
I mean, yes. I mean, as far as what it looks like, I mean, this is it for its kind of bushiness.
Oh, I see.
So, if you're like, floating around here somewhere, he's a little bit behind some of the branches. You
I've
could
got
make
the
him
picnic
out, but
tables.
your roll, you just didn't. And this is where Shooting Star was sitting or standing, trying to peek around the corner, and just didn't catch him in his first glance. Anyone else want to do any moving or scouting, or just head in, or what do you want to do?
I was thinking of opening the door if it's cool with everyone. I make the motion, like talk out in telepathy, say, "Hey, everyone, get your attention here," and I point towards the door, and everyone looks like they gave me a thumbs up. So, yank on that handle.
I'm
So
also
you
moving toward the door.
Okay, so if you head back and you're stacked up outside of the door, I guess it's open. It's a little on the dark side. It's the dark side. It's on the dark side. It's a little dark in there. But I mean, it's not like you're quite walking into a room full of bad guys or anything. It's more furniture and equipment and whatnot in the room, and a fireplace in the middle. I can describe it as if you head in and inspect the room.
Oh, but Mo, the dank.
Okay.
That was a great episode.
So you are heading into this as the direction here north is to the right. So you're approaching it from the east. As you head inside from the east, you enter a large open hall, about 35 foot high, supported by massive wood beams. The floor are rough wood planks. They're not polished like a hardwood floor, but they're also not just loose planks either. They're very solid, sturdy, well nailed together planks. So the floor does not creak at all. There's not even movement beneath your feet. It's just solid. The kind you'd expect to find like an old workshop, something made for working with very heavy objects. There are torch sconces hanging on the walls, candelabras on each table, and other tall candle stands. The room is well lit enough to see, but by no means bright. A large open fireplace burns in the center of the room. pillars at each corner with the fire visible from all sides. It's like a fireplace with like 4 ways to see into the fire with like pillars on each of the corners. And the fireplace really provides most of the light in the room, casting long shadows up onto the walls. Throughout the room, there appear to be several workbenches, but beyond that, we'd have to go in to see more detail.
While everybody's piling in, I want to make one more perception check on number 3.
Okay. And I mean, Taylor, you can't really like absolute 180. You'd probably have to like arc around too, so you could probably do another perception check as you sweep.
So I got a total of 15 this time.
Okay. And Taylor?
It's not gonna be any better. It's a 3 on the D20 so far.
Well, you're throwing all your good dice at the important part, which is throwing bowling balls into robots.
Oh, come on, roll the dice for me. Oh yeah, that's a 7.
7? Okay. I mean, you can see number 4 at least in that arc you're swinging, and Eric, you do see number 3, and they don't appear to be moving. So and there's no other steps or movement. As dark as it is, and as dark as these things are, standing against something, moving, they definitely have clunky metal, feet that you can definitely hear. So you think you've maintained your stealth up until this point.
All right, I'll relay that. And can I do a major action to absorb a knife?
Sure. Let's see. I mean, you're really. Actually, I don't think anyone was actually injured, but you're not quite 15 minutes out, but you're enough out of combat so you can kind of take whatever actions you want to. So if you want to reabsorb the stuff that you have.
Yeah, that'd be helpful.
And then, well, I mean, Almadee just standing where the door is. I guess if you want to just describe, roughly how you're going in or where you're standing when you go and enter. If you want to,
this place might have sensors in it, guys.
Circle or back to back or something.
So we're out of combat. Is that correct? Or...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that
Can someone
stepping on anyone.
levitate inside, maybe?
The windows, Kurt, that are up on the top, are those just very, very small, like, medieval, not big enough for a person to fit through type windows?
Yes, and most of them appear to be boarded up, or they're just black behind them, almost like there's equipment or junk or something on the other side. If from the height of you're seeing the height of the room is probably maybe around here,
right?
And everything above it, you don't see any light coming out of any of these windows.
Can I run a quick detection diagnostic looking in, searching for, again, this is like enhanced vision in regards to, does it look like there's a plate that's out of like, that basically for a trap perspective, like, do I see any signs of like where people have walked versus where other things have not walked, that sort of thing, wear, tear, that, it's like analysis type of detection.
It's like the floor of the room that you
right. So like, for example, like the way I envision it is like if someone had like a bookcase that would slide out, you would notice that, oh, there's dust here, whereas it's an enhanced level. You could see scrapes on the floor. Like it actually like kind of goes hi-fi, high fidelity or
and as far as the floor, you're not seeing any traps or tripwires or anything in this wood solid. It's almost like they're made out of timbers, like the floor. So it's very rigid, and there's definitely like work tables and stuff. And as far as the dust and stuff, it does seem to have traffic. So there isn't much dust on the floor. Like things have been walking around these tables and walking through these doors.
Okay. And so, okay. So our plan, guys, was to go in here, correct? And check out the clock part of it?
Yeah, we were trying to dismantle it some.
Yeah, phase 1 was to infiltrate the clock house and stop, disable, destroy, or do something to the clock.
My next question is I know there's multiple doors and windows and doors are up. Does that mean this building is it there are walls that are cutting it out in half, or is the entire building open floor until you can see the stairs? So, when you look at, I'll just specifically, so like I'm gonna draw this line here. Like, is there like inside? Is it like there's like a step up in there, or is there a wall so that that's a separate building, but even though it's attached, like?
No, it's just all open space.
So it's all open with these timbers and stuff. And then
it's just the ceiling looks like it would be about here.
And okay, and then I get what you're saying there because there's probably multiple stairwells or stairways. Is there?
It looks like whatever this tower structure is, this round structure, those would be like an entrance to stairs on the opposite side.
All right. I'm going to think to everyone, well, here we go, and step through the doorway. Unless someone else has something to do in between that, but that's my thought.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't want to make you like overthink it. It doesn't appear like it's trapped or signal. I mean, you got the lock and the door open. There doesn't appear to be anything on the door to indicate.
And the only other doors we have to worry about are on the left side there. So, to our left. I mean, I know, and in the front near the tower thing. So
yeah, I mean, there's another door here. This does appear to be a separate structure with just a door going into that. Yeah, you've got these doors here, although they're much higher up, that are higher level. And then from looking from the other side, there appears to be a door. Here's that round structure with the stairwell would be in it, and the door would come out on the opposite side as far as doors into this building. Yeah, here.
Can I move sentry number 2? Can I move him over to the left just to get him out of sight?
Yeah, so he's not like visible from the corner. Yeah. As he slowly drives across the concrete. So I guess if I'll use it off to the left here. If you want to position everyone where they're going to be.
I stepped through the doorway, so I know that was my.
I'm just going to take everyone's telepathy off just to clear up a little space here, since we'll just have it understood that that's up and running. Let's see. Well, let me do it this way.
Oh, Mike, I opened up a jeweled lotus 2 days ago in the Commander Legends.
Commander Legends is a pretty good set, but I don't know. I find it somewhat underwhelming on occasion. But there's a couple of really good cards in there, especially for Commander.
It's weird how some of the foil ones, they're just so bent. Some Legends are way too bent.
It's so awful how that happens. But the one card I picked up from Zendikar is the Black Disenchant. That one that is anti-enchantment. That's disgusting.
Which one's that?
It's a wrong card for black to have, but it's in my black commander deck. And that deck, COVID Sacrifice, is disgusting. We haven't played in a couple months, but we met. We had a quick night where we played, and it was just. So my board state is decided by me. So when people get rid of that or exile that, I go, no, I sacrifice it first. And when I sacrifice this, you take damage. Everyone takes damage. So it's this whole engine of. So the only thing that really can defeat the 4 of the deck is if I don't get graveyard recursion, then I'm screwed, right? So because I got to pull.
Or what if I just have a Grafdigger's Cave up? Then what are you gonna do?
Exactly. But I mean, I have other win conditions, but still, that one is the one. So it's just really funny because they were you know, people are like, oh, I killed that, and or I exile that. I'm like, no, you don't. I just kill it, and then I'll bring it back next turn.
Yeah,
Like,
in response, yeah, no, I'm gonna kill myself.
right. Thank you. I will take care of my own stuff. Go play over there. Don't touch my things. Yeah.
Let's see. And then Taylor, as far as like going in, are you staying in the owl form and like flying inside as you are?
I think I'm gonna stay Overwatch on the outside.
Okay. I guess maybe just this is just the next like encounter is inside of the room, so splitting everyone else and like I'll go run around the back. It's I don't know. It's just classic D&D. You go into the room, you have the encounter in the room. So I just placed everyone in the room because also you write it, you read out the detailed description of the room, and then you reveal what it all looks like. And when everyone's couched outside of the room, peeking in, and going, do I go in or not, or I'll stay outside? It's like I'm not gonna fuck you all over and say, oh, you're all dead. It's like just you all just go in the fucking room.
I think you said there were rafters.
Oh no, I mean there are. So I mean, it is
fly
a
me
small
in.
room.
Perch in a
fly
rafter.
around with. I
Yeah.
just wanted to get his story before we go and
Yeah, get me all
set it
perched up
off.
there.
I don't want to do the reveal story and then him say like, oh well, that's the case. I would have I'm trying to get everyone's intent before they all head in. So I'll repeat. It's a large open hall, about 35 feet high, supported by massive wood beams. The floor made of these hardy wood planks. It don't creak at all. There's torch sconces hanging on all the walls, a candelabra on each table, and other candle stands. The room is well lit, enough to see, but not really bright. A large fireplace open on all four sides is in the center of the room and really provides most of the light, casting long shadows on the walls. And on all of the walls, upon which hang dozens of inactive knights or knight suits, sort of stacked up. You imagine if you go into like a clothing shop where they've got the latest suits and all hang on the walls. These are almost like these night suits hang up on all the walls. Yeah, clockwork iron knights, like suits of clothing on display, hanging from hangers high up on the walls. Against the south wall is a ramp leading up to a large pair of doors high up on the wall. So, I mean, essentially where these doors are going out. Let's see, I'll go. Let's take the top off. So this is what we're seeing. Against the south wall is a ramp leading up to a pair of large doors high up on the wall. Throughout the room, there are 6 large workbenches. Across each lay an inactive knight, an extremely damaged inactive and extremely damaged clockwork knight. On the west wall, at the base of the turret, the round cylindrical part of the building, there are 2 archways on either side of the base, leading to a spiral staircase leading up. On the northwest corner is a massive pipe organ like you would find in a cathedral. The ticking of the clock house, the ticking of the clock in the clock house comes from high above the ceiling. It is both as gentle and constant, and yet deep and voluminous in this huge enclosed space. And that is essentially all you see at the moment.
I would like to investigate the pipe organ.
Okay, so let's say, I guess just put a marker where you'd be moving, or you essentially move to here. So, what through which way do you go?
Yeah, like
And if
that.
you play the right keys, it unlocks this whole like underground tunnel cave thing, and then it gives us like a cool ship.
We find One-Eyed Willie.
Yes.
And I'm just moving like one step towards where you're
Yep.
moving towards for now. And I guess we'll just go like Blitzman.
Yeah. So I'm moving here.
Okay, so just you like essentially moving up this.
Teleporting there. Sorry. Teleporting.
Okay. Okay, that would be your action. Blue suit.
I'm going to extend. That doesn't matter because that's for precision. Yeah, so I'm going to reload my. Basically, I'm gonna like put a fresh cartridge in for the glue, and I'm gonna extend my Schlagstock out on my left hand and basically hold my position for now, because we're walking into a thing where it's like the freaking Cybermen. Which one of these assholes is gonna activate? So.
Yeah. Actually, I'll do like so he would have probably gotten to here by now. He probably would have made it to there as far as the move. He's holding where he is. For Vandler.
I'll move to the middle of the room, basically, like 30, 40 feet to the right. Kind of like swoop down and up, and I'll perch there.
Okay, so yeah, so you've kind of got a timber roughly in the middle of the room, so you're probably about 15 feet
And
up.
they're all deactivated. None of them are gonna pop up. They would be collared, obviously, Mike.
Yeah, or if yeah, they all just turn red.
He wouldn't do us dirty like that.
Alvarado's.
I guess I'll follow Blitz, man.
Okay, and move or same thing, teleport.
Yeah, I'll teleport over there. Just in case.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Like right next to him here.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, and all the detour.
I'm gonna head for the ramp and lock that door from the inside if it isn't already.
Okay, so I'll say you're basically at like the base of the ramp. Okay. All right, and I'll go to my. You can check chat for the next music cue. Fire that up.
Yeah, I like the first one. It was a, it was the planning briefing room music. It was great. Ah!
I'll shift him one to the left.
Here we go. Nice music, Kurt.
Seated at the organ, you suddenly see a faint blue, vaporous figure, masculine in its size and bulk. Its translucent, long, flowing robes flow like swirls of smoke across the floor at its feet. Two lateral spiraled horns, like that of a ram, extend from either side of its otherwise human-looking head. The ticking of the clock house seems like a metronome as the vaporous apparition presses the keys. The organ begins to play a toccata and fugue in D minor, composed by Johann Sebastian Bach in 1704, around 230 years ago, from the current day, 1934. Two clockwork iron knights fall from their hanging position on the walls, land with a thud, and then slowly rise to standing position and roll initiative.
Nice. Never knew the actual name of this song.
Yeah, you always got to go. Actually, I just found out there's so many people that are arguing whether it actually was Bach or not, but I think he's the shit. And this song is definitely one of his best.
24.
All right, 24.
I got a 21.
Okay.
Right.
27.
21.
Yeah, whole 20s here.
26.
Oh my god, I cut off Mike's top of his head, and he was bald for a second.
8.
8. Twenty-seven, 26. Metamorph and Almadita, I had both of you at 21 if you want to roll off.
Do you want to do high or low?
It's just a straight 20?
That's what I'm doing.
Just roll initiative again.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So between the two of you.
18.
13.
Okay, so Almadita 21.5. Okay, it is the apparition continues to play on the organ, and we go to Lightning Man.
Okay. These stairs appear to go to the clock, right?
They appear to go up, is all you can tell.
And the clock is up, right?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going up the stairs.
Okay. You move up to the top. Well, it essentially spirals around. You get up to the front door, and then you keep going up to the top. And there is a large metal door bolted at the top of the stairs.
Okay. I attempt to open it.
It doesn't open. It appears to be locked. Well, bolted, in fact.
Okay. Then I will use my haste action to... It appears to be bolted from the other side, or like locked. Is there like a lock?
Like locked with like large bolts, and it's like you'd put one of those huge bolts across, and then like a lock on that. It's more than just like a turnkey.
I got you. So is the lock on my side of the door?
The door is closed, locked, and bolted. And if you were going to try to bust it down or burn through it, it's probably going to take you a while.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe
what he's saying is, your prime
go down
focus
and do the fight. This is the part that comes next.
Yeah. We're playing music, man. The organ's going. Fight these fuckers. That's what's happening.
Okay. Then I guess I'll go back downstairs.
Let's see you.
That'll be my hasted action and the end of my turn.
Yeah. I guess you back at where you were, or you could step out the other arch if you wanted.
But what you did do is help us Lars know that we
just
all can't go. Yeah, like all of us who thought we could go up there and try to take care of this. Now we know we can't.
All right, blue suit.
Okay, so these things activated, right?
At least these two are.
Yeah. Do they look different than the sentries?
No, they're pretty much all the same. I was using
idea.
Sentry to differentiate as one of these guys that was initially shown.
Okay.
You know, so if you were fighting and like more guys started pouring out, and call them something
All
different.
right.
That's fine.
I will do a. Looks like Alma and Oliver may need more help than Metamorph. I think Metamorph's gonna go for 2. Blitzman might go for 2. The fireplace, I'm assuming it's one of those like, is it open in the middle of like a pit and then like a hood on the top with pillars on the side?
Yeah, so you've got like a chimney coming down the
Right.
middle of the room. I mean, you know, it's pretty much all just straight down, but all 4 sides are like hollowed out, so you can.
Right.
I mean, if it wasn't a burning fire, you could crawl through from one side to the other.
So technically, what I'm saying is if Blitzman were to move into a certain position, like 2 over, he might be able to shoot 12.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, in theory, if that, well, yeah, actually, yeah. If this guy was standing here and Blitzman was here, he could shoot the guy through there. It might be
All right.
a little bit of a.
I'm trying to figure out how we're gonna suss this out. And with 11, or not, yeah, with 11 near Almond Dieter. Okay, never mind. I'll stop screwing around.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, as far as their appearance too, like I said, they all look the same. The ones hanging on the wall, they appear to be intact and functional, although completely inert. The ones on the table all do show signs of damage. One's missing a leg, one's missing an arm. One of them, the chest is ripped open.
All right, I'm
You know,
going
one of them
to
just appears to be taken apart
Right.
and under.
as interested as I am in the workshop. I am going to do a focused attack. The glue cartridge is in my gun, and I'm going to do a focused attack on number 1. I'm guessing I can see over the tool bench.
Or number 11.
think
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
11.
Number 11.
Yeah,
My bad.
It would be like a workbench.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the equivalent of like an operating table, you know, as far as height.
Okay.
So, you know, roughly waist high.
All right, yeah. So I'm going to do a focused attack, damage attack on that with my glue attack.
Okay.
Motherfuck. All right. Well, I can use a legend point to reroll, right? But I should wait for the final battle. Legend point lets me reroll, or is it?
That one you just add it to the whole thing.
Yeah, never mind.
No, but you, and, I mean, yeah, as far as going, well, no, there is no necessarily final battle, but
it doesn't matter. So
there is more than just writing. You know, we do have a couple of nights
11
here. Okay, yeah, so 11. So I miss it as you're firing over the shot, and just give me a buried 1 die 20 roll.
As you wish. No, cannon, don't. It's just a 20. I rolled a fuck. This die has a fuck for the 1. If you see on the stream. So I rolled a 1 for my bear die 20 roll.
Okay, yeah, no, nothing happens. And we go to number 11. Let's see.
I was hoping the mist would splatter the other knights on the wall just up against the wall and hold them.
It's more like it like fizzled out and drooled out my gun, and I went, shit.
The knight steps over to Almadieter and swings its sword. These ones only have a sword and no shield. Well, they do have a dagger in their belts.
So if he rolled, I could do a battlefield retribution now, right?
Yes. So I did roll, and I did hit a successful hit. So you can decide if you want to use your next major action as the defend action this turn to try to do battlefield retribution.
I will try battlefield retribution.
Okay. So make a prescience check, and this number will become your new guard. Essentially, your guard is currently a 14.
Okay. So it's a die 20 plus 2 die 8 because prescience is awesome. Okay. $22.
Okay, so your guard went from a 14 to a 22. And if that defense exceeds his attack, the damage will be reflected back on him. It doesn't, because he did quite a bit of damage, but he
Oh,
does
thank God.
significantly less now. So he would have done 11 points of damage and thrown a Bane on top, but instead you only do 3 damage.
I get the portal up, but not quite in time, and I still take a
Yeah,
pretty
it's
good
like the
whopping.
way the angle the sword was swinging. You got the portal, but like even on the other side, the tip just came out and like nicked your cheek. Is all of
All right.
3 points of damage. Number 12 is just going to take a swing at Shooting Star. And what's your Uber guard right now?
27.
27. All right, going for the gusto.
You're asking what's his Uber? What's your Uber number?
Swings and same thing. Swings and just barely nicks you for 3 points of damage. And 11, 12. Shooting Star. Oh, no, right back to you. So, Shooting Star is
I'm gonna try
swing
to
at me.
do it
Well,
right
allow
back.
me to retort.
Oh, natural 20. No way. With a 15 on top of that.
Eric, this is your night. Keep it up.
And then, yeah. And then 6 more on top of that. So 20, 30, 41.
41.
This is crazy pants.
We do
41.
a massive amount of damage. The thing is now injured. Very injured, but not quite bloodied. And you get to throw a Bane on top of it, which I'm guessing
Persistent damage.
Persistent damage, yeah. That's where I stuck those guys. This guy is injured and
Now I'm gonna do the yeah, I can't think now. The
Haste attack.
disadvantage 3, the hasted attack.
yes.
Well, that's still decent. 23.
23 hits. You do a decent amount of damage, and now he's bloodied.
Then I'll stay where I am and I'll maintain.
Okay. And Almadieter, your chance for revenge.
Is that door closed? Is it locked from inside?
You're kind of at the bottom of the ramp, but from what it looks like, yeah, it's actually bolted from the inside. Like you'd need to like lift it up, slide it over, and then like barn doors, they would swing out to the outside.
Awesome. So at least that guy stays out for now. I will make a Dirk attack. Actually, no, I used up my major action.
That's right. The battlefield retribution, does that cost your major?
Yep.
Yeah.
You basically shift your major action up in advance. So yeah, you have I mean, perception check is a minor to see the door, it's locked. You have a move as well as any other minor actions.
Sure. I'm going to use my Boon Focus 2 to use heal as a minor action on myself.
Okay.
Is Blitzman or Shooting Star within distance for me to hit him as well if I do multi-target? No, I'm sorry, not Blitzman. Shooting Star, the one that took damage.
Yeah, I'm way on the other side of the room.
I
By
think
the
it's
fireplace.
50. I don't remember.
20. I was gonna say that is the distance, but I think I don't know, like things with Oliver Ramos's influence, because it's kind of an auditory, even if it's a mental auditory thing.
Yeah.
I skip past some of the line of sight, but he's really on the other side of the corner of the fireplace and the night in between. You don't really have a shot on him.
Yeah,
So
that makes
5,
sense.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. He is, I think, roughly just within 50 feet for distance.
All right, so I start chanting prayers to my voodoo god and heal automatically
Yeah,
because
voodoo's
I
okay.
have Boon Focus 2, so I don't have to roll, right?
Yeah, it's single target, so it just happens. So just roll your
2 die 8. I heal for
yeah,
10.
yeah, the full amount. Yeah, I'm guessing you'd probably have to heal full, so you're back up to full.
Cool.
And
And let's see, I'll move. Oh, if I move, then he's going to get an attack
it
of
would be an
opportunity,
attack of
right?
opportunity if you moved out of his threatening square. Although you could move through it if you wanted to.
Okay, I'll move on to the side of him, closer to Oliver and Blitzman.
Yeah, essentially just circle around him to here.
Circling around him, yep.
Okay. In Pathfinder, that would be attack opportunity, but not Vocal Legend. All right, the Metamorph. You're perched up on one of those beams, heading mid across the room.
Okay. Can I move up 10 feet and then oh sorry, not like up, but like towards Lightning Man.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna do like a swan dive. I'm gonna like look left, I'm looking right, and then when I'm going straight down, I'm gonna set when my wings kind of come out, I'm gonna send out 2 knives, one at the apparition, one at the knight, if I can. I don't know if I have line on the knight 11.
Yeah, I think 15 feet isn't quite enough to get that high an angle because they're pretty much toe to toe with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, if you wanted to move higher, so 5, 10. I mean, if you moved like up, you moved
If I have space,
10
yeah.
feet. If you moved up 10 feet, also, I would say from there roughly you'd have a shot.
Okay, yeah, do that.
So for like from 25 feet, like 10 feet, you're only just a little bit over.
Okay, yeah. So I'll go up and then I'll send them out.
Okay.
It's
And,
so
and you said you're doing throwing one at each of them, like
yeah,
right out of the wings, like you're almost like
100%.
throwing feathers out, but the feathers turn into knives, like Archangel style from the X-Men.
100%. Yeah, fucking badass.
That's
So it's
what
gonna be
Mike has to
disadvantage
program.
2.
If he makes the mechanical owl, it has to have little like feather blades it shoots out. Sorry. What were you saying?
It kind of reminds me of the magic card Wing Shards. You can look it up if you want. But so I get disadvantage 2, right?
Yeah, for a ranged attack on 2 opponents. Yeah, we just.
And Almadita still has the bolster up, right? She didn't do like a focus action or anything.
Nope, it's
Yeah, she's still sustaining it. She hasn't done a focus action, so
Okay, so those negate.
so those negates would be a straight up attack. Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's see what the 2d8s come in at. Okay, not amazing. That's a 10. Oh, but a 19, so that's a 29.
29. All right. This is on 11. You hit number 11 hard, but it's just essentially it's 9 points of damage. You just missed the 10.
Oh,
To throw the extra bane on. It's still a significant amount of damage. When the knife hits the apparition, it vanishes, although the organ continues to play.
I was very interested about that. I thought the same thing. So I'm guessing he's probably still over there, but I'm kind of flying downwards. That's my trajectory right now, but that's where I'm gonna leave it.
Okay. And Oliver Ramos.
I can't stun necessarily, so I'm gonna try and incapacitate, knowing that it does stun them instead.
And this is on 11.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, 24.
It works. Okay. And any other movement?
No, I'll stay there.
Okay. And again, we still have telepathy up, just not showing up. That's when you're sustaining now. All right.
I think I would have told everyone about the apparition that he disappeared, so just let everyone know that.
Let's see.
If I could, with the telepathy on.
Okay.
I think that's a minor action, so you're good.
Another knight falls from the wall, lands, and when it stands, you see. Where are my notes? This knight falls off the rack, lands, but it has a ghostly blue face of a skull kind of coming out of the front of the helmet, and two blue horns coming out of the sides of the helmet. It raises its right arm, and a smith's hammer from one of the tables flies over and lands into its hand.
Ah! It's Thor! No!
Smith's hammer.
Not if I disarm him.
Its hand. Everyone roll 1d20.
Three.
17.
Natural 1.
Natural 1.
16.
Natural 20.
You can't figure out who to go to.
Way to waste
Two
it, Eddie.
natural ones.
Seriously, out of all the things.
And that's more than a waste, too. Actually, I'm going to put a blue ring on this guy. I'll make the line thick. There. This is the blue guy. The hammer flies into his hand. He points the hammer at Oliver Ramos and lets out this like hissing howl as the eyes inside of the skull appear to glow.
How in the fuck is the one time I roll a natural 20 for anything involving a d20? The one time it's the worst possible thing it could be.
Actually, I'm gonna put really 10 because well, no.
How dare you?
13.
Is this why you're a game master? Because you're like, fuck this.
How dare you?
Like I said, I never like to pick or roll because you guys don't see who the random one is. I just roll if it's gonna be highest or lowest, and then Taylor's like, oh, 1, here it comes. I'm like, no, it's gonna be the highest. And then it's like, yeah, no, it's natural 20. I don't know, maybe he senses something about you, or he sees this deathly apparition creation. He senses something about you.
And he's like, I got a natural 20 on an Eddie check. Here we go!
I wonder if you can dominate him, Eddie. Because this
And
one's
that's
more
all he does
ghost-like.
in that action. Just falls off, stands up, pulls the hammer, and essentially points. And it goes to Lightning Man. And the Verwandler is high up. He's 25 feet up, so he's not.
Sorry, what's 25 feet up?
Metamorph, the Verwandler.
Gotcha. Kurt, am I able to go from the arch that I'm at to the other arch? Just
Yes.
through the staircase? I'm going to do that, and I'm going to attack the pipe organ with lightning.
Okay.
Oh, so wait. So, sorry, Kurt, but the pipe organ guy basically stopped playing and then became that knight? Is that what happened?
Taylor threw the knife through the apparition. It disappeared.
Oh, I missed that.
The pipe organ continued to play. A knight fell off the wall, but then this one, it had the blue ghostly face.
I apologize because I missed. I walked away.
Yeah, no, it's all right. Taylor flown up in the air as the bird and did a dual attack, throwing knives at him as well as this knight.
Thanks, Taylor.
And then it was on. Essentially, it's on the apparition's turn.
Right.
It dropped down and it appeared on him.
18.
18 hits, and it does some damage to the pipe organ. It makes kind of an odd sound as some of the pipes might have gotten pierced, and as the lightning continues to ground, the charges of blue electricity kind of like run over all the pipes as it starts to run kind of ghostly effect. Although it still keeps playing a little bit.
But you attack the organ?
Yes. Hasted action, attacking the organ again.
Okay.
Does anyone else feel like this is?
That could be. I don't know. Maybe the
28.
powered. What's that?
28.
28. All right. All right. So you do another chunk of damage to the pipe, and like it's like the music keeps playing, although just some of the notes just aren't playing. Like it's skipping notes as those particular pipes aren't able to play.
Okay. That's all I got.
It's funny. Originally, I was going to attack, disable the organ by ripping the bellows.
You guys got a problem with organs, Jesus! All these things attacking. We're hitting the organ.
Well, that was before I knew there were knights going to attack us.
Let's see.
Threw it on the ground.
Was Lightning Man and Blue Suit.
I love that song. You can't buy me hot dog, man.
That's right. I am going to focused action, fire my grapple, which is attached under my gun. I don't have to load it, thankfully. At number 3, an attempt to disarm him from his little hammer thing that he thinks he's all cool with.
Okay.
So that is
So you're doing the disarm, using the grapple to do the disarm thing.
correct. Yeah, it's that.
Okay.
That's what it's there for. A, movement, but B, for it's specifically the claw.
Yeah, it pulls it back
Yeah.
in your hand. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Whoa! Oh, a little natural 20 over there. You stay over there. Get back over there. That was a 20. Stop fucking with me. Oh, you piece of shit computer. 20. Alright, there we go. 3. 1. Where's the other one? 1. So my die 6s sucked. But my die 20 gets to get rolled again.
Well, let me get it
I'm
ready.
hoping to God he gets disarmed like a mofo. Alright, what we got here? 30.
That does it. So you rip the hammer out of its hand, and the hammer appears. Your grapple pulls it, and then you catch it in your hand.
And that's what was focused action, so that's all.
Okay. He's disarmed, and you have the hammer on you.
Does it continue to glow or no?
Well, the hammer didn't glow. It was just his.
Oh, it's like
It's like the normal metal knight. It's got kind of the same ghostly apparition face and the horns, and its eyes were glowing when it was kind of fiercely screaming at Oliver Ramos. But the hammer is
conduit, like
glowing to
because he pointed as I'm guessing it's like a conduit type thing or whatever for him.
Well, I mean, it was just similar to like Thor's hammer. Like he put his hand out in this, and it is a. I mean, this whole place has a blacksmith kind of vibe to it. So
I'm
like
hoping to demoralize the shit out of him. Haha! I've got your hammer, bitch.
Let's see, and that was we have 11 and 12. Number 11 is going to try to shake off its stunned, and that's not a potent one. It does not. It is still stunned, and it used its only action to do so. So it's still stunned and does nothing. Number 12 turns around and actually no, sorry.
It's persistent damage. Right?
Yeah, roll. One is it 1d4
D4?
or 6? D4.
Is
Yeah,
it a
D4.
D4 or D6? D6. 4.
I think it's a D4.
That's a 4.
4, and that explodes.
Only one more, so a total of 5.
5 damage, and it. Come on. There's just enough, and it keels over. Collapses to the ground. It's like when you hit it, you bent some of the gears, and then as the gears kept turning, they're like tearing at the other gears. And then he finally he has that, You almost grabbed his chest and collapsed to the ground. Oh, that was his turn. Fuck. Well, that's one way to stop him from hitting you back. That's like another battlefield retribution, although only in advance. And it is to you, Shooting Star.
Well, I was thinking we should all gang up on number 13, but you guys have to get number 11, and we won't have room otherwise. So I'm going to move to number 13 right behind it, and I will attack it.
Okay. And it's disarmed and it doesn't have its hammer. It does still have the sword, but it's sheathed. It's not drawn or anything.
Yeah, it's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20 hit. You hit it for damage. Yes, one. Yes.
Now I'll attack it at disadvantage. Same roll.
You hit it again?
Yep. And I'm done.
And actually, that is enough. Well, I'll just use this one. This is injured. All right, that was Shooting Star, and now Almadita.
I'm going to go for a stabby stab in one of the input ports where I noticed that Vervanler was aiming his cannonball that did so much damage. So using that as an indicator, I'm going to try to stab him in that location.
Well, the input ports are like on the inside of the between the arm and the chest cavity. Those seem to have tubes which went to these nodes throughout it. When he did that one knife of the bowling ball, it just seemed to pierce the chest and hit where one of those nodes were. It's like if you wanted to do that, like aim for one of the nodes, you could do that, try and through the chest, or still go through one of the ports on the side. But as far as the solid hit that he had, it was really in the chest.
Taylor,
Yeah, I think I'll do the node then. I'll try to go through the chest plate.
feed the
13.
swarm. Look that one up, Taylor.
13. Again, the knife just glances off the side. It doesn't appear to. You're just not able to get it to pierce.
Okay.
12 is.
I will stand here. Nobody's hurt. Oh wait, now I might be able to heal Shooting Star from here, right?
Yes, you would be. You can see him from here.
Okay. So minor action. It's a single target. I will roll 2d8. And where did my 2 die? Okay, there. And I heal him for 9.
Okay, so Eric, Shooting Star is back up to full. I was gonna say number 11 is down by 9. If you want to heal him.
Yeah, sure. Let me throw that in there. I'll do a cone. I'll do a cone and try to hit 5 and 11 at the same
And
time.
that is one of the tricks. Like if you do an area heal, like you try to swath a bunch of guys. If there's a bad guy in the middle, they'll get healed along with it. There is a feat where you can omit certain spots. You can do bomb heals and heal just the people you want. Almadita and Metamorph.
Okay. I kind of wanna fly downwards and I kind of want to go like lands in like a slide and kind of hit 13 from with that spear that I have. So I'll be like sliding with the spear like
As the and I don't know how it works because the owl is so much smaller with the spear.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna change back into my actual self. When I fly low, I change and then I'll be sliding with the pole cutting out.
Okay. So you had flown over. You were doing kind of like a downward swoop. So you swing around. So 20. Let's see. Oh, I think the only thing that sucks is the distance because you're 25 feet up. So even just to clear that distance,
I got
it's
80.
down. Oh no, yeah, that's right. The owl has a much larger move. So yeah, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, you'd be able to make it.
Awesome.
Let's see. And doing the shapeshift, that's boon focus 3, so it's a minor action, so you don't have to roll for that.
Correct.
Okay, so I'm gonna turn you back into you. There's some. Where did I pull that from? Uh-oh, I had some piece of my map. Oh well, it's gone now. Okay, so that's down. Oh wait, I guess that's 6. And you're still using a minor action to sustain invisible. Give me just an agility check for your swing and coordination and style. I'm not going to penalize you so much as you miss,
Mhm.
but it'll just be for how this looks because it's a pretty dashing maneuver.
We got a 21.
21. So I'll say this is like the perfect sweeping down. You pass beneath the tables. It's almost like you're passing out of sight. Like people lose sight of the owl, and then they hear the sliding, and then this guy comes up from the bottom and stabs up into number 13. And now just do a roll for your damaging attack.
Mm-hmm.
You get advantage because of flanking, I think.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's a melee attack.
Oh, damn it. Damn,
Cool.
that was not amazing. That's a 14.
Okay, so it doesn't hit, but it is surprising. I mean, at least I
It's
think
pretty
literally
cool.
Blue Suit and Shooting Star, they saw an owl fly below the workbenches, and they see you come sliding out the other end, and the knight's kind of between you. It's like the spear kind of goes like between his legs, and he doesn't quite have to dodge, but it's like, whoa, I didn't expect a spear to come out of this owl out of nowhere. It looked really awesome, but it didn't score any actual hits.
I think I'm prone on the ground at this point too. I'm just like,
I'm thinking it's more like sliding, like on your feet and maybe a knee, like tripod up, not literally going prone. I mean, if that was the case, it would actually disadvantage. But I think just for story, we'll say you're not exactly prone.
Okay.
Metamorph and Oliver Ramos.
Hmm. Let's just incapacitate number 13. Same thing, just to kind of start.
Okay.
$29.
29. So you successfully reach into the brain, as you have before, of these mechanical soldiers, and it's almost like you're seeing a bunch of toggles, and you're going to hit that one toggle for what you want, and then in your mind you see this glowing blue skull. It's almost like you're pulling the helmet off. The thing turns, looks right at you, shrieks, and you pop back out of the thing's mind. Like, I mean, in game terms, it's the one possessed by this creature appears to be impervious to dominate, but it's almost like a startling thing because you're getting the feel for getting into these things and flicking their little mind switches, and there was something in there with you, and it threw you back out. Any other moves or actions?
I'll stay there.
Okay. And it's to number 13.
that noise?
If it's coming out of my microphone, it's probably my rampant fan that's always going off.
Oh, that's what it is. It's just like, that was weird.
It's so stupid. I mean, I get it. Like, well, I mean, when we did SQA testing for those biodes at Nortel, that was one of the things when the temperature sensors got up to a certain level, the fan would kick on. And it would kick on at a percentage commensurate to whatever the temperature inside of the device is. This thing is almost always going off, and it's like it's live. So you'll actually hear the fan going wow, 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 wow. Like whatever the CPU cycles is, it spins the fan up to that exact speed, and it's the most annoying thing
My
to listen
CPU
to.
is fine. I have a big ass fan on this new rig that I got. The CPU part's fine. It's the graphics card that you know when you've hit something when you hear and it's just like, all right, cool. Like I know I'm hitting it, I'm pushing it, but the CPU
Turbine
itself,
spinning up to speed. Number 13 grabs the Verwandler by the face, and it's essentially it's the polymorph Bane. You change against your will into a giant snapping turtle.
well, that's weird.
Even while being invisible? Like he saw, well, I guess he saw the stabby stab come at him.
Yeah, invisible.
Yeah,
only
invisibility in
increases
this isn't quite like D&D. It's more of a, you know, your shimmer, your guard is like a little bit higher, or if you're not moving, hiding in the corner, they're not going to know where you are until you move or somewhat.
Gotcha.
Still has the bolster, still has all of that. This then leaps into the air and lands with a slam next to Oliver Ramos. Reaches back, and again the hammer flies out of your hand and into its hand.
You dick, Bill.
He just left my range.
Yeah,
Do I get an attack of opportunity or no?
No, this is one of those cases where he's either too fast or there's like the blur of motion with the ghostly robes behind it. You're unable to land a hit
It's a
on
boss fight, Eric.
it.
Oh,
Bots
I understand. That's why I asked.
Yeah, no.
I was being
It's
silly.
okay.
I was being silly. I was like, it's a boss fight.
But what about the turtle? I'm really fast. I think I can get him.
Oh, and
I'm more
I
bullshit
should,
that he ripped that thing out of my hand.
I should say also it's potent as well.
Oh, come on.
But he does not have another attack, so he just lands here and he's ferociously staring down Oliver Ramos. And it goes to Blitzman. The pipe organ is on its last legs if you were making a judgment
Number 3.
as far as what might finish the pipe organ off.
Could you please shoot number 3? In my mind, I'm like, could you leave the organ alone and shoot number 3? Or 13.
Yeah, Kurt, I'm gonna take a 5-foot step south and attack number 13.
Okay.
22.
22 hits. It is just not enough for your Bane to kick off here.
Hasted attack. Uh, 20.
So 20 still hits and still does damage. And actually, this thing is bloody.
And I'm also gonna move some more.
Okay.
So right there.
Okay. And blue suit.
Okay. My thoughts are to everyone, like, I know it's instantaneous, we're in the middle of attack. I'm like, okay, I'm piling on number 3 to help Oliver, so you guys help Alma. is really kind of where I'm coming from. It's in my thoughts. I know this is a instantaneous action, but focused action, glue shot, number 3, trying to go damaging attack.
Okay.
Let's see how this works. Oh, it's focused, so I get this one too. I hate how it shoots off the edge. That's nice. 6. Oh, that's nice, actually. Actually, I'm very happy with this roll, because I get to reroll this 6.
Yeah, I guess rather than making it random, I guess I should have just had him scream and point at Blitzman with his hammer because he was the one that smashed his piano.
Yeah, exactly. So my roll total is a 28 on my damaging attack. If I am 5 over, I get to apply a Bane. Agility versus toughness.
That does. So your shot hits and just smashes a chunk off of it, and it collapses to the ground. There's the sound of a shriek, and a blue flash appears to leave the body, so it doesn't have the horns of the face anymore, and it collapses to the ground right in front of Oliver Ramos.
Weird. Well, got your back. I wink at Oliver and go, got your back. Even though you're crazy and weird.
And oh yeah, that was a focus action, so full round action there. And so that goes to 11. As again, going to try to shake off the stun, and does this time.
So my thought is, it's like I'm the technology guy, he's the mystic weird guy, so it's like that whole sort of like weird dynamic between me and Oliver. It's like,
Yeah. The heroes that, the water guy and the ice guy and the fire guy, they don't get along. I don't know, I still say Quantum and Woody would be the best sitcom ever. So that was just a great comic. So number 11 uses sword, swings at Almaditer. Oh, and misses. So it does not even give you a haircut. It swings wide over your head.
Woo!
And shooting star. Yes.
I want to move up so that I'm on the ramp opposite of Almaditer, I guess it is.
Yeah, I'll trust that you have enough movement. You
I have 55 moves, so that gets me to there with 5 feet to spare, and I will make my attack.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a total of 30.
30. I must have deleted it. You hit it with a crushing blow. It is now injured, and you get to throw a Bane on it. I'm guessing you want to go with persistent damage again?
Yes, I'll do persistent
So
damage
you'll
again.
do your gear bending madness.
Oh.
Should I not bother putting the things on?
No, it's only a 22.
Okay.
But it was another 19. The previous one was not 19.
So
that was a 19. I'm like, yes.
Pierced its chest, creaked, ripped it out, swung it, went right back in the same hole, so it barely did any damage. +3, but it is definitely bloodied. And Almaditer.
Sorry, I got a cat in front of my screen here. Here she is.
Oh, I just realized I would have had advantage.
Oh, because you're flanking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have actually, that would not have changed anything because I just would have rolled one less die. But yeah, one less die. So it wouldn't have mattered.
Okay.
I'll remember it next time. But you have advantage.
Yes, actually, you do.
All right. I'm going to try to stab it in the hole that Shooting Star just made. Actually, no, that would be bad, right? Because you'd already did
No,
damage
it won't
there.
matter.
I'll aim for the node through the chest plate.
Okay.
And I rolled 8.
This one you just swing wide as it is moving back and forth, fighting Shooting Star from the last Metamorph.
My attacks are as
Okay.
good as my
The,
sneaking.
the turtle.
So
You've
what's my
got a movement of like 5.
I got
at this
5.
point.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do I see Night 11?
You can see it between the table legs.
I'm gonna move 5 feet up, and then I'm gonna become Blastoise and put my head down and fire a bowling ball out of my back at him. Can I do that?
Yep.
That's what's happening.
I was thinking like, oh, this is great. He's got potent polymorph on him. He's not going to be able to shapeshift. He's like, yeah, I'll just shoot cannonballs out of my back, Pokemon style.
Yeah, fuck it.
The classic back cannonball maneuver.
Yeah, you're gonna hit him like right in the shin or the knee.
And that's alteration, which still have bolstered. Roll the dice for me. Sorry, 1 sec. This computer's just slow. Oh, Jesus. Terrible rolls. All right, so 2 4s. That's a 15.
15. No, so the shot. It's like I mean, it's hard because the bowling ball is kind of big, and you've got all these table legs. You got to weave it through. It takes out like the table leg on this table, and now it's just teetering on 3. Shit! I forgot to. Well, go ahead and finish your attack.
Can I do a dash and run 5 feet? No, I already used my major action.
Yeah,
so I'm
you
done.
use your major. So sorry. Oh crap. Alma Dieter, Blue Suit, and Lightning Man roll 1d20.
Alrighty.
No.
Oh, let's see who gets possessed.
3.
2.
1. Contact.
It's a reason. A 20.
Okay. The inner knight laying on the table reaches over its hand and just grabs you by the arm, giving you the immobilized bane.
Fuck you, dude.
Immobile.
Kurt, you said you wouldn't do that to us.
I said good day, sir.
Not potent, just regular mobile on this one. And Oliver Ramos.
So what we've learned is natural 20s are
Don't
bad.
roll
people.
20s on these random die rolls, is what we've learned. Eddie and I both got screwed on that one. Damn, these are taking forever. This is great because we have everyone playing. That's why it's taking forever.
Let's just disarm 11.
Okay.
$22.
22. You do. I mean, I don't know how your influence is. This like you're commanding to like throw his sword down in his mind. So he throws it, and you can place it anywhere you want, 15 feet around him or from him.
Anyone want a sword?
5, 10, 15. You could put it next.
Sure.
To I don't know if. Well, yeah, I guess the turtle could absorb it.
Give it to the turtle.
Yeah,
It'd take you like 5 dashes to get there.
I guess. Well, technically, you'd have to use a major action to absorb it, but
yeah, I'll toss it in his direction.
Okay, yeah, it pretty much lands on top of him.
Maybe
Okay,
I'll bite it.
that was Oliver Ramos, and another one falls from the wall and lands here. 14. No blue in sight,
Oh.
and it's 9:40. So there is more to the battle, so we're gonna stop it here, and we'll pick up next time where we left off.
I do have one
There's
question,
no
Kurt.
sign of the blue apparition since it shrieked and ran off. The hammer is still laying on the floor, and this one's hand is crumpled on the floor. And just another one fell off the wall and landed here.
The knight that grabbed blue suit, is that one an actual enemy now?
Or is it like
No, so I mean, this is more like a background / trap. So this is like
Oh,
a smashed up knight. It's torn open. One of its legs is missing, but it's like the scary thing that just comes alive and grabs you, and you have to like wring your arm or smash the thing's arm to get away from it.
cool?
None of the other knights on the tables are moving, or the ones on the walls. It was just this one at that roll. It's like it woke up and saw him there and lashed out and grabbed his leg.
But others could. You never know.
Could be, yeah, never know. And yeah, no, so that's it.
Yeah, cool shit,
we'll-
Kurt.
Should be playing next week, same time, and the same thing. If I mean, obviously, it's great having everybody here. But if one of you can't make it, we'll still play as long as we have 5 going, because all these encounters are a little bit more tough.
Keep it going. Just get Taylor back in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Same bad time, same bad channel.
Exactly.
Yep. All right. Have a good night, everybody.
You too.
Thanks, Kurt.
Nicely done.
Thanks. Yeah, well, you guys too. Some decent rolls.
Oh yeah, Eric rolled at 60.
Taylor, did you see that card?
Oh yeah, I didn't even see it when it came out in the
It's a
Zendikar
common
block.
Zendikar card. Black.
But it deals damage to you.
Doesn't matter. Black enchantment removal is non-existent. It's the first card.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So if you're running mono black, that card has to be in your deck. 100%.
It's only sorcery speed, but it's only 2 mana, so it's pretty great.
In Commander? I'm just saying.
Yeah, in Commander you have all that life, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of cards that are like anti a certain color
Yeah.
or shut something down, but
Yeah, like obviously the 5 different color, in the color wheel, there's splash where some will do something or whatever, but like, black is traditional, damage but damage back, but damage maybe gain life. Like, black is sacrifice, you hurt yourself, but you get something good for hurting yourself. White's protection, green is growth and ramp,
Yeah,
you get
yeah.
extra lands down. Like, every one had, red is direct damage based, but so when it splashes over and then they introduce a card where, before people would create mono black decks, it's like their weaknesses are certain things, and one of their weaknesses is I throw an enchantment down, you can do nothing. You can do fuck all. So you build a deck that has some white and some black, because white has enchantment removal or something, or red or whatever. Now you can play mono black, and there's a card that allows you to remove an enchantment, which is, it's kind of a big deal when it happens, and you're just like, oh,
yeah, that's what I was saying. It sounded like one of those things. It's like tactically unique. It hasn't been seen before.
Yeah, it was like a and the worst part, the funniest thing is, it's a common card in a set they released 2 sets ago, and you're just like, I saw the card and I'm like, yeah, I'm getting that. It's going right in my deck, because I'm like, I have a black deck. I was like, yeah, this is happening, So
Yeah, it's like getting draw cards on a white deck or
right,
something like that.
right, exactly.
Oh, it's an
And,
uncommon
counter
one
spells
for that
in red.
color. Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, so
Well, it's also nice to see that it's not you have to have the rarest cards to do something.
no, not yeah, you're right. I mean, that's why I like playing the Commander format, because it's 100 cards, and every card in the deck has to be unique. So you don't have to I need to have. So if I'm building a tournament deck that's 60 cards, I have to have 4 of this and 4 of this and 4 of this. If it's an expensive card, you'd be like, oh, I have to buy 1 or whatever, and we play proxies too if you want to, but lately it's been have the real cards in the deck type of thing. So it's nice because you don't have to have the awesome cards. You have enough cards in Commander that there's enough cards that are not too expensive that you can have a viable deck and have fun and play without having to spend through the roof.
Or you could just buy like a commander deck that's already self-made for probably like 30-40 bucks.
Yeah.
It's not the worst. And those, they do a pretty good job. There's a lot of good synergy between just common and uncommon
Yeah.
cards, really.
They make it out pretty good. And the nice thing about it too is it's that whole format where certain cards in the normal tournament format, people will be like, Psh, I ain't putting that in here. But in Commander, it's viable. You're like, oh, this is totally high casting cost type of like, because the whole deal with Commander is you have a card that's your commander. You have a legendary card that is he defines your deck. So you put him out there and you can cast him anytime. So you're trying to use the synergy of what his abilities are based upon your deck. So like for example, my black deck is she's 3 black mana to come in, and she comes into play, and every time a black creature comes into play, the other people lose a life, and I gain a life. So the synergy is, oh, so you're trying to do like, okay, let me play off of her. So I bring her out and I start fucking hitting people. They're like, okay, she's gone. She goes back to the command zone because you can never really lose her, but she costs more to come out for the next time. So it's that whole like, it's a very cool format because it kind of there's a lot of politics involved. It's multiplayer. It's not just one versus one. It's more, a group table game.
Yeah, it
You're
can
like,
also
oh
be a
shit, I don't
political
want that guy to
decision.
win, so
Yeah.
I'll take him out, or I'll stymie his thing. But then someone else on his left be like, oh, now he's gonna start to win. Well, I don't want him to win. There's a whole lot of politics involved. It's kind of fun. So.
Yeah. I don't know.
I like playing with like troll cards too. That's like everyone draws 5 cards, or everyone does.
Pillowport.
Yeah,
We call it Pillowport, where you're like, everyone's happy, yay, you get everything, you get everything. Just don't attack me. I'm giving you things. I'm giving you things. So,
Those are fun decks.
yeah. So.
Or ones that just for completely just troll you. It's just like, all right, all my permanents, you take them, and I'll take all your permanents.
Right.
Or just like swap with everyone. Or just like, you know what, I'm gonna give you this amazing thing. There's a lot of really cool things.
Yeah. It's almost like a
if you ever
buy-off.
playing like Magic with a bunch of people, I'd definitely be down.
Oh yeah, no, I'll have to. Next time we have something going on, Taylor, I'll ping you.
Yeah, I'd definitely be interested. I don't get to play much Magic these days. I mean, it's everyone.
With
And
COVID?
I actually just was able to play a couple days ago.
Oh, were you?
It was nice. Yeah, we had a 3-person commander game going, and it was really fun.
Well, hey, ping
Cat
me if
deck
you.
versus equipment versus landfall.
All right, well, I mean, let me know if you. I'll play. I'm free at times and stuff. So I mean, if you want another one to play, I'll bring my shitty decks over your way and.
Sounds good.
I'm wondering, people have to I'm doing like a 2-camera setup, like 2 laptops. If you had 2 cameras, you could join a WebEx twice. Just have 2 people playing. Like one is their face, the other one would be a camera aimed down at like their cards. So you play the cards in front of you, and you could look up on the screen. You could see your decks, side by side.
You can do it with the streaming, like Streamlabs or OBS or anything like that. You can actually set it up so it goes to. It doesn't have to stream to anything. You can just share your screen when you're doing it.
Yeah.
The last time we played, we actually were like, okay, everyone's safe, everyone's wearing masks and shit. So we actually got together. It was like Ray and another guy. They're like, but then he asked if we wanted to come out like right before Christmas, right as like another outbreak was coming out. And I'm like, nah, man, go sit back. Like, I appreciate the last time we played because everything seemed okay and everyone was kind of good and everything. But with this spike, I'm gonna stay over here. So.
I don't know. That's the logic I've been going by. Like when we peaked in April at like 3,000 new cases every day in Massachusetts. And then like June it tanked, and it's like, okay, now I'll go to the grocery store, I'll go out.
Right.
Yeah, I'll have my brother over, do something. But then it there was like 3,000, went down, and then it shot up to like 5,000. It was like, oh, come on, let's just go to the range. It's like